Hi, you're watching Anyverse English. The story unfolds at the Shin family villa, where a figure is seen practicing martial arts techniques, delivering a flurry of punches. This figure is Shin Xiang, a 16-year-old martial artist lacking a spiritual vein, yet possessing a handsome visage and a well-toned physique. Suddenly, applause breaks the concentration as Shin Xiang's cousin, Shin Jinhua, appears behind him. "You're quite formidable, Shin Xiang. Just a few punches, and you've shattered that log," he remarks, with one of his disciples chiming in agreement. "Indeed, that's impressive." Another disciple adds, "It seems the hopes of the Shin family rest upon your shoulders." Shin Xiang shoots them a cold glare, questioning, "Shin Jinhua, what's your intention?" Shin Jinhua responds with a smirk, "What do you mean? I simply want to remind you not to disgrace the Shin family within our martial arts training grounds." He gestures towards the broken logs with a surge of powerful qi emanating from his body. "Do you wish to punch these logs and become the subject of ridicule?" One of his disciples boasts, "Brother Jinhua, your strength is remarkable." And another adds that qi belongs to the 4th level of the mortal martial realm. Shin Jinhua persisted in his taunting, "Shin Xiang, it seems you still haven't grasped the truth. No matter how diligently you practice here every day, even if your hands bleed from training, without a spiritual vein, you'll remain nothing but a waste. Just continue hiding in your shell, much like your worthless father." Upon hearing these words, Shin Xiang's anger flared, his eyes icy as he demanded, "Shin Jinhua, dare to repeat that?" With a smile, Shin Jinhua replied, "Am I wrong? With the strength of your father, Shin Tianhu, you could have contended for the position of Patriarch. But alas, because of you, he's stripped of even the opportunity to participate. He's left toiling away, merely to sustain a scoundrel like yourself. It's truly pitiful." Shin Xiang erupted in fury, "Are you trying to provoke me?" With that, he launched his attack. But Shin Jinhua swiftly evaded, a smirk playing on his lips. "With just you?" he taunted. However, his smile vanished in an instant as Shin Xiang's punch left a minor cut on his face, blood streaming from the wound. Recoiling, he bellowed, "You've truly angered me. I'll end you." In the ensuing moment, Shin Xiang charged forward, assessing he's only at the 4th mortal martial realm, typically reliant on true qi and lax in physical training. "If I focus on hand-to-hand combat, I might have a chance." As he closed the distance, Shin Jinhua sneered, "Come here, you worthless scum." With that, he launched another attack, but Shin Xiang deftly dodged it. Frowning, Shin Jinhua muttered, "What's this? Why is this trash so agile?" Meanwhile, Shin Xiang observed Shin Jinhua intently, a plan forming in his mind. "This is my opening," he thought, and unleashed a powerful blow at Jinhua. Witnessing this, the disciples were shaken. This trash bested Shin Jinhua, the prodigy of the Shin family, using only his physical prowess, one exclaimed, while another interjected, "Wait, something's not right. Look, body protection qi?" Shin Jinhua paused, assessing the situation. In the next moment, he leapt into the air, his body charged with powerful qi, crashing down onto Shin Xiang in a tremendous explosion. Shin Xiang found himself pinned under Jinhua's knee, thinking bitterly, almost got defeated by this worthless scum. Observing this, a disciple speculated, "Body protection? Brother Shinhua, have you reached the 5th mortal martial realm?" With a subtle smile, Shin Jinhua replied, "Though I've just attained it, it seems to be serving its purpose quite well." Seizing Shin Xiang, Jinhua lifted him into the air and taunted, "Thought you could outsmart me? Now, what shall I do with you?" In the next moment, he charged his hand with qi and struck Shin Xiang's chest, causing blood to spray from his mouth. He then hurled him against the wall, shattering it and inflicting numerous injuries, blood pouring from Shin Xiang's battered body. Then, Shin Jinhua charged once more, his voice filled with malice as he declared, "Die, you worthless scum." With that, he launched his attack, triggering a massive explosion. Amidst the smoke-filled aftermath, he sighed, "What a pity." As the haze dissipated, an unexpected turn of events unfolded. Shin Xiang's father, Shin Tianhu, leapt in between, shielding his son from the attack and saving him. Shin Jinhua spoke from behind, "Uncle, with your cultivation, you could have easily blocked my attack." Shin Tianhu turned to face him, his voice firm, "Leave." Upon hearing this, Shin Jinhua dared not argue further. He departed, but not before remarking, "It won't be long before the time comes to compete for the position of the head of the family. Let's see if my father succeeds." Shin Xiang, bloodstained and battered, spoke up, "Father, I'm nothing but a burden." Shin Tianhu lifted him gently, replying, "The The path of martial arts is not for everyone. Ordinary people have their paths in life. You need not concern yourself with it. Xinxiang persisted, but the Shin family, they don't accept mortals. Later, in Xinxiang's room at the Shin family estate, he sat with a book in hand when he heard a familiar voice calling from outside. "Brother Xiaoxiang, are you in there?" Recognizing the voice, Xinxiang murmured, "Cien." It was indeed Skin, Xinxiang's fiancée, who entered with concern evident on her face. "Uncle Shin, I've come here many times, but he refuses to see me even once. Is he seriously injured?" she inquired. Shintian, who replied solemnly, "Let's go home, Cien. He won't see you." Her retort was swift. "But why? I'm his fiancée." Shintian, who sighed, "Cien, let's end this engagement today." Perplexed, Cien questioned, "What do you mean?" Shintian, who explained, "You are the treasure of the Shui family, a martial arts genius. But Xinxiang lacks a spiritual vein. His whole life is destined to be that of an ordinary mortal. He doesn't deserve to be with you." Defiantly, Cien asserted, "Who says he needs to be worthy? We love each other, and that's enough." Shintian maintained his stance. "Marriage decisions are made by parents. Please, go back." Xinxiang overheard their conversation and pondered deeply. "I must become stronger. I must defy everything to become stronger, for Cien, for my father, and myself." Meanwhile, the Hell Spirit Grass, a once-in-a-thousand-year spirit herb, held the power to strengthen spiritual energy when consumed in pill form. Later, at the Dead Place, atop an immortal devil cliff, demonic eagles roamed while thunder and lightning created a harrowing atmosphere. Undeterred by the dangers, Xinxiang continued to climb the cliff. Upon reaching his destination, he sighed in relief. Finally, I made it. There it is, the Hell Spirit Grass, he muttered to himself. It can only be harvested on the Een day of the Een year and Een month. If I miss this opportunity, who knows how many years I'll have to wait. But if I can turn it into an elixir, even without a spiritual vein, I can break through to the 5th level instantly. With determination, he reached out and grabbed the Hell Spirit Grass, a smirk playing on his lips. It's time to change my fate. Suddenly, his expression turned to shock as thunder boomed overhead, and in the next moment, lightning struck perilously close to him. "Heavens, are you kidding me?" he exclaimed. "All my efforts, how can I lose it like this?" Struggling to maintain his grip, he found himself barely hanging on. Unfortunately, the rock he clung to gave way, and he plummeted. Just a little bit more," he cried out as he fell. "Then, I will no longer be a waste." A few moments later, as Xinxiang's eyes fluttered open, he murmured, "This is..." Suddenly, realization dawned on him, and his eyes widened in disbelief. "Did I die?" Before him stood 2 girls, one with white hair who spoke sharply, "Little brat, if you don't get up, I'll leave you to rot." Struggling to his feet, Xinxiang breathed a sigh of relief, prompting the 2 girls to do the same. Introducing himself, he explained, "I'm Xinxiang. I was attempting to harvest some herbs from above the cliff when it started shaking, and I fell. It wasn't my intention to offend you, seniors." The girl with white hair sighed in dissatisfaction. "I thought we finally found someone to help us, but instead we get a little brat without any spiritual vein. Oh well, when we sisters die, someone will surely build our graves." Perplexed, Xinxiang asked, "Why do you say that, senior?" She retorted sharply, "Call me sister," then proceeded to explain, "The death chi surrounds this immortal devil cliff. It takes someone with a strong physique and chi to escape. Both of us are injured at the bottom of this cliff, with wild animals rampaging around. Do you understand our predicament now?" The other girl with black hair was visibly in pain, her injuries severe and blood dripping from them. Sensing her distress, Xinxiang offered, "Senior, I have some spirit herbs from my family." But the black-haired girl interrupted, "This wound can't be treated with normal spirit herbs. Besides, we'll be buried here sooner or later. There's no need for that." Determined to help, Xinxiang grabbed her hand firmly. "How would you know if you don't try it? I still have very important matters to attend to, and I believe you have a reason to keep fighting too. So even if I have to risk everything, I want you to try it once." Observing him, the white-haired girl whispered, "This little brat. Maybe we can try." With that decision made, the black-haired girl removed her clothes from her back, revealing her wounds. Xinxiang quickly covered his eyes, his face flushed. Men and women should not be in such situations. It's not appropriate for me to do this." The white-haired girl intervened. We're seriously injured, so we need you to apply the medicine. Apologizing, Shinxiang took the medicine and extended his hand, only to receive a charming look from the black-haired girl. With a skillful touch, she murmured, in the face of my mystical skills, all men will reveal their true nature. Come on, follow your instincts. With that enchanting spell, Shinxiang found himself entranced, his hand moving to apply the medicine. However, a sudden realization struck him, and his eyes widened in alarm. Wait. He swiftly withdrew his hand. The black-haired girl observed him with curiosity. Shinxiang, what are you doing? She inquired. Realizing his mistake, Shinxiang hastily dropped to one knee and apologized. Sorry, senior. I felt like I was being controlled by something. I'm sorry. After assessing him, the white-haired girl suggested, Senior sister, I think this little brat is trustworthy. The black-haired girl smiled in agreement. He has a strong will and good character. Addressing him, the white-haired girl beckoned. Come here, little brat. Congratulations on passing the test. Shinxiang wondered. Test? Could it be that just now? The white-haired girl, Su Meiyao, revealed. I'll tell you the truth. My name is Su Meiyao, the lord of the Danxiang Herbal Manor. And this is my senior sister, Bai Yu, the princess of the Devil Domain. Upon hearing this, Shinxiang sneered inwardly, the lord of the Danxiang Herbal Manor. The princess of the Devil Domain. Su Meiyao continued. We were attacked by a personal enemy and severely wounded. We are unable to move and have lost much of our previous strength. Moreover, formidable demon beasts lurk around here, so we must leave quickly. Curious, Shinxiang inquired, what's the plan? Bai Yu replied solemnly, we will gift you the extreme yin and yang divine veins of me and my sister. If you can refine them, you can break through the death chi of the immortal devil cliff and escape. Su Meiyao added, you should understand that with our characteristics, even if we were to die, we would not give our veins to a person of low character. That's why senior sister tested you just now. Shinxiang asked tentatively, so, then? I passed the test. Bai Yu cautioned, don't rush to be happy. The fusion and refinement of divine veins is not something ordinary people can do. There may even be risks of death. You can think about it carefully, or you can refuse. Shinxiang declared firmly, I won't refuse. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. Su Meiyao, with a raised voice, asked, okay, I officially ask you, Shinxiang, are you willing to sign a blood pact with the two of us, receive the divine veins, and help us recover our cultivation in the future? Shinxiang replied confidently, I accept. As long as I become stronger, I will do anything. Su Meiyao smiled approvingly. Good. So, let's begin. With that, she produced a spiritual talisman. Minutes later, as the process of transferring the spiritual veins commenced, Shinxiang's body surged with heavenly qi, veins protruding from his skin. Soon, the absorption process neared its completion, the heavenly qi slowly being assimilated by him. Su Meiyao expressed concern. His meridians are already broken, and his divine consciousness is constantly shrinking. Is the fusion of divine veins still too difficult for him? Suddenly, a roar echoed throughout the cave, startling them. Su Meiyao turned towards the sound, realizing, the sound of a ferocious beast? Did this kid touch the Hell Spirit grass? Damn it! The beasts guarding the Hell Spirit grass are all above the 7th level. If this continues, we will die. Shinxiang, she called out urgently. Your condition right now is very difficult. You can still save half of your life if you give up now. Despite blood erupting from all over his body, Shinxiang replied resolutely, I won't give up. Simultaneously, he reflected, I was born without a spiritual vein. Even with all my efforts so far, I haven't been able to catch up with others. When my family needed support, I couldn't help either. Now that the opportunity is in front of me, With a loud shout, he declared, even if I die, I won't give up. In the next moment, his body surged with power and he collapsed. Hey, little brat! Su Meiyao exclaimed. Suddenly, their eyes widened as a huge, tall monster appeared before them with a deafening roar. Su Meiyao turned to Bai Yu urgently, asking, What should we do, sister? Bai Yu urged her, little sister, examine his wounds and meridians. Su Meiyao was shocked as she observed Shinxiang's wounds healing on their own. As it succeeded, she wondered aloud, if this little brat is so lucky, once he smoothly refines the 2 divine veins, I'm afraid no one will be his opponent. Bai Yu assessed the situation. He still needs a little more time. Let's cover him. Just hold out. Maybe there's still hope. Sumeo nodded in agreement. Yes. Bai Yu turned towards the monster and shouted, "You ugly beast. Die for me." With that, she leapt into the air and launched her attack. However, the monster remained unharmed and retaliated furiously. With a swift movement, it slammed its tail into both Sumeo and Bai Yu, sending them crashing into the wall. As blood spewed from their mouths, Bai Yu lamented, "If we still had our original power, this beast would have been killed in one strike." Damn it. The monster's gaze shifted towards Xinxiang, and it charged forward. Bai Yu shouted, "Demon beast, don't go over there." She released the grasping soul devil curse, which grabbed the monster's tail and slammed it onto the surface. Despite her efforts, Bai Yu's expression changed as the monster retaliated by pulling its tail and smashing her onto the other side. She realized, damn it, I need to get rid of this demon beast. However, the monster's attention remained fixed on Xinxiang, much to Bai Yu's concern. Not good, she observed. Suddenly, a huge lightning burst onto the monster, causing it to tremble. Both Xinxiang and Bai Yu were shocked by this turn of events. Sumeo remarked, "Senior sister, his fusion speed was much faster than we expected." Tremendous chi emerged from Xinxiang's body, making him seem like a newly born heavenly god. With the two yin-yang spiritual veins, he was now undefeatable. Xinxiang marveled, "This is the feeling of having divine veins? The power seems to be gushing out of my body." Turning to the two seniors, he immediately bowed respectfully, expressing his gratitude. "Thanks to both sisters who sacrificed their lives to buy enough time for me." Sumeo pointed at the monster and urged, "Little brat, try fighting it to test your strength." As the monster regained consciousness, it charged forward. Xinxiang grabbed both of the seniors and moved them away from the monster. "You'll both be safer here. I will deal with it." With determination, he rushed towards the monster, thinking, the reaction time and jumping power are several times stronger than before. Let's try the power of my fist. With that thought, he delivered a powerful blow to the monster. However, as he landed on the surface, he gritted his teeth in frustration. No effect. In the next moment, the monster released chi from its nose, revealing 3 heads and several large eggs. Xinxiang ran back, shouting, "This beast is really hard to deal with." Sumeo shouted from behind, "Even a beast can use true chi to attack. You stupid boy, you're still using brute force." Upon hearing Sumeo's words, Xinxiang realized, "Yeah. Now I have more than just brute force. I can feel an aura rapidly flowing through my meridians and about to burst out. This is the power of true chi. Come on, demon beast. Let's fight." As the monster inhaled its chi and made a powerful blow, Xinxiang easily dodged it and maneuvered onto the ground. In the next moment, he charged forward again, declaring, "Sorry, I'm faster this time." His powerful strike caused the monster to tremble and roar in pain. Xinxiang, running along the surface, marveled at his immense powers. With that attack, the ceiling of the cave got damaged, and a few rocks started falling. Sumeo warned, "Little brat, you're so careless. Come here. This place is about to collapse. We have to leave quickly." She threw a storage ring towards them and instructed, "Sisters, I'll get you out. Put a drop of blood on it, and it will recognize you as its master. Quickly. This is a storage ring. Just put us in it." Xinxiang bit his finger and drew blood. As the monster departed, Xinxiang said, "Let's go. It's almost too late." Both of them nodded in agreement. In the next moment, they entered the ring. Then, Xinxiang surged his powers and pondered, "Father, Sten, wait for me." Later that night, in Xinxiang's room, he called Su Meiyao and informed her, "Sister Meiyao, the water has already been poured. If you want to take a bath, you can go to the Shin family's bath. Why do you have to do it in this room?" Su Meiyao approached and replied, "Little brat, our identities must not be known by others, otherwise it will be your death." She started removing her clothes, saying finally, "I can take a bath." A blush appeared on Xinxiang's face as he asked, "Shall I go and guard the door?" Sumeo denied it and urged, "No, just stay here." Bai Yu added, "Turn around and close your eyes." As he turned around, Bai Yu went to work the water with Sumeo. Sumeo then called him and said, "By the way, I still have something for you." Feeling embarrassed, Xinxiang asked, "What is it?" Sumeo urged, "Come here. Lower your head a little more." As he came closer, she extended her finger and performed magic. Xinxiang wondered is this? She explained to him, this is the cultivation method I practiced, the four symbols divine art. It has been passed on to you through my spiritual consciousness, and my understanding of this cultivation method has also been passed on to you. So just practice accordingly. According to the cultivation method, run the true qi in your body to feel it. Xinxiang replied, I will try. Sister Meiyao. I can feel a fire surging wildly in my body. Su Meiyao said, that's the fire of true qi. You started pretty quickly, but you need to keep practicing and try to control this power. Bai Yu told him, Junior sister used to be an alchemist. You can also try those secret alchemy methods, but alchemy requires extremely great talent, so you don't have to force yourself to learn it. Xinxiang was surprised upon hearing that, and he asked, these cultivation and heart methods have indeed been reflected in my mind. Both sisters. To be able to transmit so much information through divine sense. Are they at the 8th level of the mortal martial realm? No. Are they above the 9th or more? Isn't it? Su Meiyao explained, little brother, you should know that above the mortal martial realm, there is the true martial realm, the nirvana realm, and so on. The path of cultivation is much longer than you think. And the Xinwu continent where you live is just a drop of the ocean in the entire martial arts world. Bai Yu added, our enemies can destroy the strongest man you have ever heard of with a snap of their fingers, so it is impossible to reveal our existence to anyone, including your loved ones. Xinxiang pondered, I always believed that attaining the 9th rank in the mortal martial realm meant reaching the pinnacle. But hearing the sister's words, could it be that we're simply too feeble? Su Meiyao tenderly ruffled his hair and reassured him, for not, dear brother. With your yin and yang divine veins, dedicate yourself to mastering the four symbols divine arts and honing your skills in alchemy. In due time, you shall ascend to become a martial arts deity. A few hours later, Su Meiyao chuckled softly. Ah, how I yearn to soak for another couple of hours. Bai Yu interjected, Xinxiang, your foundation is presently lacking. When the moment arises, I shall instruct you in the ways of devil cultivation. Determinately, Xinxiang replied, I shall diligently refine myself and honor both of your teachings. As they conversed, a voice suddenly reverberated from behind, Xiaoxiang. Reacting swiftly, the two masters retreated into the ring as Shintianhu approached, calling out anxiously, Xiaoxiang, are you unharmed? I heard you returned from the immortal devil cliff. Did the gathered death qi there have any adverse effects on your health? Assuring his father, Xinxiang replied, Father, I'm perfectly fine. Despite his apprehension about his father discovering the presence of the two masters, Su Meiyao transmitted, do not worry, we are concealed within the storage ring. He cannot detect us. Shintianhu scrutinized him, insisting, let me examine you for any injuries. Suddenly, his eyes widened in astonishment as he inspected Xinxiang and inquired, Xiaoxiang, do you possess a spiritual vein? Xinxiang's face lit up with a radiant smile as he replied, indeed, the hell spirit grass lives up to its 1,000-year reputation as a spiritual herb. It was worth the risk I took. Tears welled up in Shintianhu's eyes upon hearing this. Excellent, he exclaimed emotionally. Xinxiang encouraged his father, saying, Father, strive for the position of Patriarch. I have faith in your success. Nodding affirmatively, Shintianhu remarked, it appears that all of this is indeed the will of the gods. Splendid. Haha. Let the Shin family witness how we, father and son, ascend to leadership in the clan. Na. A week later, at the Spirit Dan Pavilion. Reflecting on his progress, Xinxiang remarked, after a week of practice, it seems I can control the true qi fire quite proficiently. However, as Sister Meiyao suggested, if I wish to enhance my power rapidly, I must rely on refining elixirs. Yet, the Peiyuan body Dan costs 5,000 large spirit stones. Not to mention finished dawn. I cannot even afford the herbs to concoct them. Su Meiyao retorted, Fool, if you can't afford the herbs, you can simply cultivate them yourself. Xinxiang questioned, Grow them myself? Sister Meiyao, are you jesting? It takes 3 years for herbs to grow at the fastest. Su Meiyao assured him, That's for common people. I have my methods. Xinxiang acquiesced, albeit skeptically, that. All right. Later, at the shop, Xinxiang inquired, Do you have seedlings of azure spirit grass and blood element flower? Please provide me with 5 of each. The person at the counter responded, I'll retrieve them for you. Please wait a moment. At that moment, Xinjianhua approached from behind, taunting, Well, if it isn't the great waste of the Shin family, purchasing herbs for your health. Accompanied by the governor of Woa's city's daughter, Hua Yunshin, she added insult, isn't this Xinxiang? It's embarrassing to see that your family's eldest grandson is such a failure. Xinxiang ignored their remarks, urging the shopkeeper to hurry. Both of them were taken aback by his indifference. Hua Yunshin wondered, Brother Xinhua, how can this trash ignore you like that? Growing increasingly agitated, Xinhua snapped, Xinxiang, itching for a fight again, are you? Ignored once more, he charged forward, executing the Tianong Palm technique. Swiftly evading his attack, Xinxiang sidestepped, causing Xinhua's strike to land on the counter instead. Hua Yunshin, witnessing the scene, was alarmed. You dodged it? How is this possible? Xinxiang responded calmly, it seems you focus solely on training your true qi without strengthening your body. With your speed, how do you expect to defeat anyone? Enraged further, Xinhua shouted, it's not your place to boast. With a surge of fiery qi enveloping him, he charged forward. Anticipating his move, Xinxiang launched a counterattack. Their fists collided with each other forcefully. With a smirk, Xinhua taunted, fool, daring to challenge me. Your hand is probably shattered, isn't it? Retracting his hand, Xinxiang noticed a slight bloodstain caused by his ring. Unfazed, he remarked, Xinhua, I thought your weakness was merely physical, but it seems your true qi is equally feeble. Confused, Xinhua frowned. What? Xinxiang extended his hand, demonstrating, observe closely, the true qi. As he spoke, his true qi surged around his body. Xinhua, bewildered, muttered, how can this, a trash like you? Meanwhile, Hua Yunshin found herself overwhelmed by the energy. Ah, it's hot. Brother Xinhua, why are you just standing there? Teach him a lesson. Put a stop to this. As tensions escalated, a figure descended from the upper floor, shouting, cease this at once. This is the Spirit Dan Hall. Who dares to cause a disturbance here? Xinxiang swiftly apologized. I apologize sincerely. I'm Xinxiang, and I didn't intend to offend. My younger brother here has been acting recklessly, so I took it upon myself to reprimand him. Through gritted teeth, Xinhua interjected, you keep quiet. The person in authority intervened sharply, that's your internal affair. How dare you disturb the master of the Spirit Dan Hall while he's concocting elixirs? Don't blame me for being impolite. Turning to Xinhua, Xinxiang declared, Xinhua, I'll let you off this time. If you're still dissatisfied, I'll see you at the Patriarch selection. Infuriated, Xinhua retorted, Patriarch selection. You're not even worthy. With a serene smile, Xinxiang replied, now that I possess a spiritual vein, it's only natural for me to assist my father in the selection process. Just hope you don't lose too embarrassingly. Seething with frustration, Xinhua muttered to himself, what kind of luck did this trash stumble upon? However, the elders passed down to me the spiritual level martial arts skill, Tianong slashing axe. Mastering it before the Patriarch's selection, dealing with this trash will be a breeze. Turning to leave, he urged, Yunshin, let's go. Hua Yunshin questioned, are you letting him off so easily? As the two departed, Xinxiang bid his farewell, then I shall take my leave as well. With that, he too departed, leaving the commotion behind. The onlookers marveled, mastering the fire of true qi at such a young age? Remarkable. Another chimed in, it seems the Shin family is nurturing a promising alchemy talent. However, skepticism arose. Do you believe alchemy can be achieved solely by mastering the fire of true qi? If that were the case, why are there so few alchemists in the entire South Martial Kingdom? It's a long and arduous journey. Without proper guidance, one might never produce a single pill in their lifetime. Agreeing, another added, indeed, alchemy demands qualifications and resources far beyond our comprehension. Interrupting their discussion, a figure approached from behind, remarking, it's quite rare for someone of his age to cultivate the fire of true qi to such purity. Turning to their master, one asked eagerly, Master, did you witness it? The kid seems exceptionally talented. Should I recruit him? The figure, the master of the Spirit Dan Pavilion, responded firmly, I won't accept him. Send a message to all alchemists in Woa City. None are permitted to teach alchemy skills to Xinxiang. 3 days later, in the Shin family's courtyard, Xinxiang diligently tended to the spirit herbs he had planted, witnessing their rapid growth. He turned to Su Meiyao and exclaimed, Sister Meiyao, the dragon slaver technique you taught me is truly incredible. I can hardly believe I was able to ripen these herbs in just 3 days. Sumeo nodded in agreement. Indeed, dragon slaver is derived from the essence of heaven and earth, containing an immensely potent vitality. However, your dragon slaver is still too weak. Currently, it can only affect these miscellaneous herbs. But once your cultivation becomes pure and solid enough in the future, even the growth of millennium spiritual trees can be significantly accelerated. Observing closely, Xinxiang remarked, the dragon slaver you condensed is undoubtedly more effective. It seems I still require more practice. Sumeo tilted her head gently and offered, how about it, little brother? Would you like me to help you improve your breathing technique? If you wish, I can even teach you mouth to mouth. Xinxiang hesitated, replying, Sister Meiyao, isn't that a bit inappropriate? With a playful tone, Sumeo chuckled, I was just teasing you. Why are you taking it so seriously, you little brat? Later, inside his room, Xinxiang exclaimed, with these herbs, I can finally try my hand at alchemy. Turning to his sisters, he asked, do we need to prepare so much food for alchemy? Sumeo retorted, of course, we need plenty of food. We have no idea how long the process will take. Do you intend to starve us to death? By you added, I can't even remember the last time I ate food from the mortal world. Undeterred, Xinxiang declared, regardless of how long it takes to make these pills, let's begin by using my divine sense. With determination, he stepped outside and entered the divine realm. Gazing around, he pondered, where am I? In the blink of an eye, a ferocious beast resembling an eagle appeared before him. Shocked, Xinxiang exclaimed, what is this? Sumeo entered and marveled, I can't believe you entered the divine realm so swiftly. You truly have a talent for this. Perplexed, Xinxiang inquired, divine realm. Sumeo elucidated, this is my master's unique alchemical Tao, creating a special realm using divine sense. Here, your true chi fire will be greatly enhanced, and your alchemy refinement will be tens of times more effective than outside. The creature you see, transformed by the fire of your true chi, is Bai Fong. By passing its trial, you'll learn the refining method for mortal-level pills. The trial's contents vary, and it's up to you to figure out how to overcome them. With that, she departed, leaving Xinxiang to contemplate his next steps. Xinxiang resolved, then, I shall go meet this flame bird. As he spoke, Bai Fong ignited the fire key in its mouth and directed it towards Xinxiang. Observing the incoming fireball, Xinxiang frowned. Wait, is it starting already? The fireball erupted upon impact, propelling Xinxiang to the other side. Despite the sudden displacement, he managed to stabilize himself and realized, this is an alchemy technique. I can't go wrong if I use my true chi fire. With determination, he surged his true chi fire into his hand. Meanwhile, Bai Fong released another fireball from the opposite side. Undeterred, Xinxiang prepared his counterattack, understanding the trial's mechanics. As their fireballs collided, immense pressure filled the air. Miraculously, Xinxiang's true chi fire survived and approached Bai Fong. Realizing the trial's nature, Xinxiang mused, it seems I was right. This trial tests my ability to condense my true chi fire at the right time to offset the opponent's attack. However, as his true chi fire collided with Bai Fong, it unexpectedly split into 3 smaller versions of the creature. Perplexed, Xinxiang wondered, why did it split into 3? Suddenly, the miniature Bai Fangs rushed towards him. Xinxiang retaliated with his true chi fire, confident that handling 3 opponents wouldn't be an issue. Yet, to his dismay, the fireball redirected towards him, exploding upon impact. Gritting his teeth, Xinxiang exclaimed, why did it fail? Upon further observation, he concluded, wait, perhaps the size of these 3 birds represents the difference in firepower. I need to use different levels of purity of true chi fire to deal with them, just as one adjusts heat levels while performing alchemy. I'll target the smallest one first. Come here, let's try this again, Xinxiang exclaimed, determination in his voice. Let's start with you. With that said, he leapt into the air, targeting the smallest Bai Fong. Despite his repeated attacks, the agile creature managed to dodge each strike effortlessly. Xinxiang was taken aback. It disappeared? No, it's behind me. Suddenly, the smallest Bai Fong unleashed a powerful fire chi attack, sending Xinxiang crashing back to the ground. Dazed, he muttered, how is it so fast? Carefully observing their movements, Xinxiang noticed they were continuously flying in a circle, creating a tornado of fire qi. Although it has become smaller, its speed and attack frequency have increased several times. I need to distinguish the size of the firepower while avoiding its attacks and quickly counterattacking. In the next moment, Shin Xiang lunged forward, leaping into the air and surging his true fire qi. With a decisive blow, he finally managed to explode one of the smaller Bai fangs, causing a massive explosion that sent him crashing to the ground. Such incredible power. I underestimated the enemy, he realized. Undeterred, he surged his true fire qi and shouted, again. 7 days later, on the day of the Patriarch's selection at the Shin family villa. Standing proudly at the forefront was Shin Now Hai, 8th level of the mortal martial realm and commander of the Shin family branch, a contender for the position of Patriarch. He retorted, Shin Tianhu, according to clan rules, both the Patriarch and their relatives must possess formidable cultivation. Your son lacks a spiritual vein, rendering him a waste. Are you truly worthy of competing for the position of Patriarch? Shin Tianhu countered, the entire Woa city recognizes my son's potential in pill-making. You may call him a failure, but do the elders of the Shin family agree? Interrupting the conversation, Shin Han Hai interjected, so what if he can make pills? He's already caused trouble with the Spirit Pill Pavilion's master. Without a master to guide him, who knows how long it'll take him to make a single pill? Shin Xiang arrived at that moment and challenged, who said I can't become an alchemist? I may not be naturally gifted, but I can still make pills without a master. Scoffing, Shin Han Hai addressed him, Nephew Shin, have you been overheated in the sun? It takes at least a year to learn alchemy, and you've only just mastered using true qi fire a few days ago. After a few minutes of conversation, Shin Han Hai proposed, all right, this uncle will entertain you today. But if you lose, you must wager something worthwhile. Agreed. Confidently, Shin Tianhu responded, if my son loses, I will withdraw from the patriarchal competition. Simultaneously, he pondered, now that my son has made a bet, I'm certain he has a plan. Grateful, Shin Xiang thanked his father and turned to Shin Han Hai, asking, what do you say, uncle? Is this sincere enough? Shin Han Hai replied, of course. I'll gladly accept having one less opponent. With a smirk, Shin Xiang declared, excellent. His true fire qi erupted from his body as he exclaimed, let's begin. An hour later, as Shin Xiang remained engrossed in the process, Shin Hao Hai inquired, do you think Shin Xiang can refine it? Shin Han Hai shook his head. I doubt it unless he's a genius among geniuses. Meanwhile, Shin Xiang contemplated, the cultivation in the divine realm is truly effective. My true qi fire seems to dance at my fingertips, every change visible. Enduring 7 days and nights against those 3 creatures wasn't in vain. Unbeknownst to them, the entire process was being observed by the 2 masters through the space ring. Bai Yu queried, little sister, how long did it take you to pass the trial? Su Meijiao replied nonchalantly, 10 days? 15 days? Who can recall such distant memories? Bai Yu remarked with a smirk, so, he's more talented than you? Su Meijiao retorted, who said that? Master didn't even assist me back then. I've been painstakingly guiding this kid. But 7 days, that's quite impressive. This kid has a promising future. As Shin Xiang continued to exert his true fire qi on the jade jar of pills, he made the final blow and exclaimed, open. Curious about the outcome, the observers eagerly approached. Shin Xiang urged them, please, everyone, check. An elder remarked, this body-tempering pill appears even purer than those made by the Spirit Pill Pavilion. Another chimed in, well done. Your abilities have far surpassed those of a top-grade spiritual vein. Shin Han Hai, unwilling to accept defeat, objected, no way. You must have cheated. This can't be a genuine body-tempering pill. Shin Xiang responded with a smile, not a body-tempering pill? Little uncle, I've heard some interesting rumors from my subordinates recently. They mentioned your weak yang qi and certain deficiencies. Gritting his teeth, Shin Han Hai corrected, it's yang deficiency weakness. Shin Xiang tossed the pill towards him and remarked, I'm concerned about your health, so why not try this pill? Shin Han Hai warned, Shin Xiang, don't push your luck. Meanwhile, Shin Jinhua arrived and overheard the conversations of the elders. Shin Xiang can truly refine pills, he exclaimed. Our Shin family finally has an alchemist. Shouldn't our key training targets be adjusted accordingly? If the Shin family cultivates an alchemist, it's only a matter of time before we become the greatest family in Woa City. Furious at the praise, Shin Jinhua gritted his teeth and declared, no, I won't allow this to happen. He then shouted, Shinxiang, you're getting too arrogant. Today, I'll teach you a lesson in place of the clan elders. Unfazed, Shinxiang turned and reminded him, Xinjinhua, have you forgotten how miserably you lost in the Spirit Pill Pavilion that day? Enraged, Xinjinhua retorted, I hope you can still be as tough after facing this strike. With determination, he charged forward, wielding the Tianong slashing axe. Xinxiang observed in astonishment, how can his true qi be so formidable? A massive explosion ensued from the attack. When the smoke cleared, Xinxiang stood firm, albeit coughing. Xinjinhua remarked, impressive. As expected of a spiritual-level technique. Such power in a single swing. Witnessing the use of the Tianyang slashing axe, Shinjinhu frowned. Tianyang slashing axe? The Shin family's spiritual-level technique is only bestowed upon members who have made significant contributions. Who gave it to him secretly? This goes against the rules. Shinhanhai intervened. Come on, brother Tianhu. Now that Jinhua has already cultivated it, there's no point in pursuing this. Let's see if Xinjinhua will make the most of this opportunity. Ha. Amidst the combat, Xinxiang remarked, there's a flaw, before launching into an attack with the Azure Dragon Fist. Xinjinhua turned with a smile, taunting, fool, I revealed it to you on purpose. Look at my axe. With that, he swung his axe. Xinxiang dodged the attack, taken aback by the strategy. Pondering his next move, he realized, I underestimated him. It's impossible to attack from such a range. If I can find an opportunity, I just need 3 moves. No, I can defeat him in 1. At that moment, Sumeo appeared, her presence invincible. If you can't find an opportunity, why not create one yourself? She suggested. Xinxiang, surprised, questioned, Sister Miao? She continued, do you remember the martial artist roar at the Spirit Pill Pavilion? Did you feel your consciousness shake and your 5 orifices bind for a moment? Xinxiang replied, that roar can indeed shake people's hearts and minds. Sumeo explained, it's a type of sound howling skill, similar to the Azure Dragon Fist you just used. Now, follow my instructions. Focus the qi between your lips and teeth while channeling your true qi. Imagine the qi bursting out of your mouth like a mountain torrent, crashing and surging forth. As Xinxiang was immersed in his concentration, Xinjinhua approached, shouting, fool, do you think you have time to meditate now? With that, he swung his axe backwards. At that crucial moment, Xinxiang's eyes snapped open, sensing the opportune moment. In the next instant, a colossal dragon materialized behind him with a thunderous roar. Xinjinhua trembled at the sight, bewildered. A dragon. The onlookers were stunned. One of them stuttered, I think I saw a dragon. Xinjinhu cheered, you can do it, little brat. Caught off guard, Xinjinhua sneered, damn it. I was tricked by this kid. His eyes darted around as Xinxiang disappeared from his view, muttering, where is he? Suddenly, Xinxiang emerged from the side and taunted, looking for me? With a mighty punch of the Azure Dragon Fist, he sent Xinjinhua flying backwards, crashing onto the ground. He grimaced in pain. Xinxiang approached him and asked, Xinjinhua, are you convinced? A few moments later, Xinhaohai lifted and shook his son, asking urgently, Xinhua, my son, are you okay? Xinjinhua groaned, Father, please stop shaking me. My bones are going to fall apart. Xinhaohai turned to Xinxiang, demanding, Xinxiang, what is the meaning of this? Regardless of clan brotherhood, you have seriously injured my son. How can the Shin family have such a vicious person like you? Xinxiang replied, every move Xinjinhua made was a killing move. Was he concerned about my life? I spared him because of our clan's friendship. Xinjinhua's mother urged with crocodile tears, elders, you must do something for my son. Then she shouted, everyone, listen to what Xinxiang said. Is he even human? He must be punished for seriously injuring my son. Others joined in the uproar, demanding punishment for Xinxiang. Some countered, bullshit. Your Xinjinhua is inferior to others. He couldn't beat Xinxiang even when he secretly cultivated a spiritual-level technique. A street fight erupted between the factions with differing opinions. You speak too much, one side shouted. You're spitting nonsense, the other side retorted. At that moment, a newcomer arrived, stating, the current Shin family is a real mess. How dare you even covet the Shui family's young lady with such meager qualifications? Why, you don't even seem worthy. Shinhanhai demanded, who are you? How dare you be so rude as to disregard our Shin family? Shin Tianhu examined the emblem card on the newcomer's waist, realizing, Wohu Yo family? The newcomer explained, on behalf of the Yao family, I came here to send a message to Xinxiang. Xinxiang, I advise you to break off the engagement with Miss Shui Xianxian as soon as possible. Xinxiang reacted strongly, shouting, Is it the Yao family's turn to judge my marriage with Xianxian? As he spoke, the man threw a sword in front of him, warning, This is a reminder. Don't blame me for being rude if you speak out of turn again. It's not just our Yao family's request to break off the marriage, it's also the Shui family's. The Shui family believes that only our young master, Yao Tianhua, can be matched with Shui Xianxian, not a loser like you. Upon hearing that name, some among them pondered, Yao Tianhua? The prodigious alchemist of the Yao family? Another interjected, I heard he mastered mid-mortal grade pill refinement by the age of 16. No wonder the Shui family is considering calling off the marriage. While yet another lamented, Indeed, it seems they lack integrity. Xinxiang remarked, If the Shui family wishes to annul the marriage, why don't they send a representative themselves? Another retorted, It's because of you. I cannot fathom why their lovely daughter would persist with a person like you, but she is resolute about not breaking off the engagement. Xinxiang mused, as I suspected, Xianxian won't suggest breaking the betrothal herself. Firmly, he stated, In that case, I decline. The other person countered, Xinxiang, let's avoid unnecessary embarrassment. Withdraw from the marriage gracefully. You wouldn't want to disgrace yourself. If you insist on staying, then let's settle it with a contest against our young master. The outcome will determine everything. And mark my words, your meager honor will be obliterated in front of the three families. Onlookers puzzled, they want Xinxiang to compete with Yao Tianhua? Are they battling in alchemy? Xinxiang responded, It matters not. I agree. You choose whether it's martial arts or alchemy. Shin Haohai interjected, Xinxiang, are you daft? You've just begun refining mortal-level pills, while Yao Tianhua has over a decade of experience. If you lose, not only will you disgrace yourself, but our entire Shin family. Xinxiang replied, Just as Xianxian will never give up on me, I will never give up on her. I will emerge victorious, no matter what. The man sneered, Humph, ungrateful brat. Fine, I take it you agree. You'll be notified when the competition date is set. With that, he turned to leave, but Xinxiang pulled out his sword and urged him to halt. In the next moment, he hurled the sword, narrowly missing the man's face and embedding it into the door. The blade grazed his cheek but caused no harm. Xinxiang demanded, Remove the Yao family's belongings. Don't soil our Shin family's courtyard. Upon hearing this, the man grew furious and shouted, You fool! You don't know your place. Today, I'll deal with you on the young master's behalf. As he charged forward and delivered a powerful blow. Xinxiang somehow managed to block the attack but was taken aback. At that crucial moment, Shin Tianhu arrived and shouted in rage, Stop it! As the man backed off, Xinxiang's retaliatory strike shattered the ground, emanating powerful qi. He declared, The Yao family deacon displays such arrogance in our Shin family's territory. Do you truly believe no one in our family can stop you? Even if I were to end you here, the Yu family won't stand for you. With a moment of pause for contemplation, the man turned back, stating, Fine, everything will be settled on the competition stage. As he departed, Shin Tianhu called out, Son. Xinxiang reassured him, Father, I'm fine. Then, Shin Tianhu addressed the elders, saying, Regarding the trial of Xinxiang and Shin Jinhua, I propose a compromise. Xinxiang will be tasked with refining pills to aid Jinhua's recovery, and we will drop the issue of him privately learning our family's spiritual level technique. Elder Pei, do you agree? Elder Pei replied, Yes, I believe it's acceptable. After all, we are family. Xinxiang continued, Following that, the selection of the new patriarch proceeded. I embarked on a special cultivation regimen in the mountains. Sister Mayao instructed me in the 4 symbols divine art, which encompasses the true qi of the azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise, and how to practice it. This week, the white tiger's qi began to take effect. Although it hasn't been as smooth as harnessing the azure dragon's qi. During this time, my father has also made significant progress, defeating one competitor after another. Finally, the last day of the Patriarch selection arrived. On the final day of the Patriarch selection, Shin Haohai declared, Shin Tianhu, this is the ultimate showdown. If you defeat his 2 brothers, the Patriarch position will be yours. Shin Tianhu inquired, Will you face me individually or attack together? Shin Haohai asserted, I'll take you on alone. Otherwise, I won't earn anyone's respect." With a steely gaze, Shin Chen-hu responded, "Then come at me." A formidable aura enveloped him. "I won't hold back." Onlookers were astonished at the display, murmuring, "Beast transformation? That's the iconic technique of the 8th level of the mortal martial realm. This technique utilizes true chi to alter one's form, tapping into the power of beasts, birds, or even weapons. As expected of Brother Tianhu, he's mastered the beast transformation skill." Meanwhile, Shin Haohai challenged, "Let's determine who remains standing on this stage. Will it be me, the furious wolf, or you, the thunderous tiger?" With lightning speed, they clashed, unleashing bursts of chi power. Shin Tianhu remarked, "Shin Hao, I'm impressed by how quickly you've mastered this skill. You haven't been in the 8th level of the mortal martial realm for long, have you?" Shin Haohai retorted, "Humph, you're no slouch yourself. Despite devoting all your resources to your son, you've cultivated an impressive reservoir of true chi." Shin Tianhu smirked, "Heh, I'm thrilled to spar with you." With that, he unleashed a barrage of attacks, shattering everything around them. Onlookers marveled, "Is this the clash of 8th level mortal martial realm experts?" An hour later, Shin Tianhu stood victorious while Shin Haohai lay defeated. Shin Tianhu unleashed the Thunder Tiger Absolute Light formation, eliciting a thunderous roar. The force of the attack caused Shin Haohai to cough up blood. Shin Tianhu urged, "Submit." Shin Haohai countered, "Even if you've won this round, it's hardly an overwhelming advantage, is it?" However, Shin Tianhu was also wounded, collapsing to the ground moments later, blood staining his lips. Shin Haohai advised, "Tianhu, this contest involves life and death. It might be wise to concede." Shin Tianhu refused. "Give up? I could never relinquish the position of Patriarch." Moments later, Shin Xiang arrived, placing a reassuring hand on Tianhu's shoulder. "Father, I witnessed your battle after finishing my cultivation. You looked quite impressive in victory." Shin Tianhu responded, "Naturally, your father is the epitome of handsome. It's just that I'm getting old." With that, he rose to his feet. Shin Xiang reassured him, "Don't worry, leave it to me." Shin Tianhu inquired, "Son, are you certain?" Then, Shin Xiang appealed, "Seniors, please permit me to fight on behalf of my father." Later, Shin Haohai cautioned, "This contest concerns the Patriarch's position. Once the fight concludes, matters of life and death become paramount. Nephew Shin, have you truly considered this?" Shin Xiang nodded confidently, "Absolutely. I request one opportunity to strike with all my might. After that, I won't hold back." With determination, he charged forward, thinking, "After a week of cultivation, I've reached the 5th level of the mortal martial realm. How will it fare against the 7th level?" Shin Haohai observed him closely, noting, "Why does your true chi feel peculiar?" Shin Xiang surged ahead, unleashing a powerful storm-killing fist. As Shin Haohai blocked the attack, tremendous pressure exploded from the impact. Elder Pei frowned, "Is this the same Shin Xiang?" Another elder added, "I fear that strike possesses the force of the 6th level." Shin Xiang pondered, "Did it succeed?" As the smoke cleared, Haohai erected a glacial shield to deflect the attack. He remarked, "For someone at the 5th level of the mortal martial realm, you wield true chi remarkably well. Shin Xiang, I have underestimated you." Shin Xiang retorted, "No effect? That was my full-powered strike infused with Azure Dragon true chi." Suddenly, his expression shifted as a beast materialized, and he sneered, "What's this?" Shin Haohai explained, "Shin Xiang, this is my first time employing beast transformation in combat. How does it feel?" Shin Xiang was taken aback. Beast transformation? But isn't that an ability typically only accessible at the 8th level of the mortal martial realm? Shin Haohai clarified, "I've already attained the 7th level and am poised for a breakthrough. Additionally, I've mastered preliminary beast fighting techniques. Do you comprehend now? You're destined to lose this competition." With that declaration, he launched his attack. Shin Xiang observed his movements carefully and swiftly dodged. Then, in the next moment, he charged forward, delivering an Azure Dragon fist. But as he struck, his expression shifted once more, pondering, still no effect. Immediately, he retreated, thinking, "I need to create some distance." Unfortunately, Shin Haohai swiftly closed the gap, taunting, "Too slow." With a powerful blow, he sent Shin Xiang hurtling out of the ring. As Shin Xiang crashed onto the ground, Shin Haohai descended from above, stating, "Shin Xiang, perhaps in 10 more years, you might stand a chance against me. But today, I must secure the patriarchal position. With that declaration, he unleashed the 100 Fisher Glacier Stomp, suppressing Shin Xiang with overwhelming force. Shin Xiang contemplated. Even the full force of Azure Dragon True Chi can't harm him, and my reserves are dwindling. With determination, he charged forward, shouting, "If you can't evade, then face it." Shin Han Hai retorted, "I'll crush you like an egg against a rock." He unleashed his powers once more. Undeterred, Shin Xiang stood firm, and then a colossal explosion erupted. Laughter echoed from the smoke. Heh, heh, heh. Upon hearing this, Shin Han Hai remarked, "Kid, I admit your progress surpasses expectations, but you needn't be so reckless against an opponent you can't defeat." Shin Xiang's lips curled into a smirk as he replied, "An opponent I can't defeat." "I thought so too, but it seems I've discovered a way to defeat you. Even if it's a slim chance, I'll always try." Shin Han Hai challenged, "No matter how hard you try, you'll only inflict this level of injury. Do you truly believe you can win, Shin Xiang?" Shin Xiang retorted coldly, "That wound means nothing, but it does prove that I have a method to penetrate your ice shield." Observing his confidence, Shin Han Hai sneered, "This kid's technique is indeed peculiar." Shin Xiang strategized, "With my next punch, I'll blend White Tiger True Chi with Azure Dragon True Chi. With my current proficiency in the White Tiger Divine Art, relying solely on its power may not suffice. The combination of two distinct types of True Chi should break through the ice shield that Azure Dragon True Chi alone couldn't penetrate. The synergy of these two energies will yield a unique potency." Meanwhile, Shin Han Hai charged forward, declaring, "Your next strike will render you unable to rise again. Do you still have the luxury to contemplate?" With those words, he released a barrage of condensed ice needles. Shin Xiang swiftly evaded them and advanced. At that crucial moment, Su Meiyao appeared, her presence indomitable. She remarked, "Impressive. You've discerned the spiritual technique on your own. It's because you've employed diverse true chi types, creating turbulent chi flow that disrupts your opponent's chi." Shin Xiang inquired, "Turbulent chi flow? Sister Meiyao, what does that entail?" Su Meiyao elucidated, "In simple terms, when you use only one type of true chi, the ice shield is affected by the true chi in a single direction. However, when you introduce another type of true chi, they combine to create a turbulent flow. This multidirectional effect weakens the ice shield, making it easier to break." Shin Xiang contemplated and concluded, "So, the more types of true chi used simultaneously, the stronger the effect?" Su Meiyao confirmed, "Exactly." Shin Xiang affirmed, "I see." Meanwhile, Shin Han Hai sneered, "This kid keeps giving me a foreboding feeling. I must defeat him swiftly. I'll infuse all the true chi of the 4 Elephants' divine art into this strike." As he launched his attack, Shin Xiang stood firm and remarked, "My meridians are in chaos, and maintaining my stance is becoming increasingly difficult." Observing him, Shin Han Hai summoned a large ice needle, taunting, "Finally, Shin Xiang, you can't endure any longer. Excellent. I'll finish you with this move. Condensed ice needle. Perish." With determination, Shin Xiang surged his chi and declared, "I must emerge victorious." With that, he soared into the air and unleashed the 4-elephant fist. The powerful blow shattered Shin Han Hai's shield instantly, leaving him bewildered. The shattered ice struck him, causing blood to spray from his mouth before he collapsed to the ground. The other members of the Shin family were stunned by the scene that unfolded before them. Elder Pei stepped forward and declared, "I proclaim Shin Xiang as the victor. Shin Tianhu shall ascend as the head of the Shin family." The crowd erupted into chants of Shin Xiang. "Shin Xiang! Shin Xiang!" Shin Tianhu exclaimed, "There's hope for our Shin family. My son is remarkable. He won." However, moments later, he too collapsed to the ground. Later, in the evening, Su Meiyao admonished, "Little brother, I can't decide if you're brave or just foolish. Allow the true chi to flow through your meridians. If you were an ordinary person, you'd be crippled or dead." Shin Xiang replied with a grin, "Sister Meiyao, can I still be considered ordinary? Look, I'm still alive and kicking. Feel free to check if you don't believe me." Bai Yu, suddenly furious, exclaimed, "What were you thinking? What if you had died?" Shin Xiang teased, "I can see that Sister Yu still cares about me." A blush spread across Bai Yu's face as she retorted, "You, if it weren't for the blood contract, who would care about your life?" Suddenly, Shin Xiang realized his mistake and stepped aside, saying, "All right, I almost forgot. He opened a drawer and retrieved a hell spirit grass. Sister Mayao mentioned that this could aid in my recovery. She advised soaking half of it in medicinal wine. It's the perfect time to give it a try. A few moments later, as Su Mayao sipped the hell spirit grass, she marveled. The hell spirit grass truly lives up to its reputation as a treasure of heaven and earth. A single cup can restore our flesh to 10% of its strength before the injury. Xinxiang suggested eagerly, if it's that effective, then I should soak the remaining half too. However, Bai Yu interjected, keep it and don't squander it. The hell spirit grass may be a treasure in the mortal martial world, but its effects are limited in our realm. Su Mayao concurred, indeed. You must strive to reach the true martial realm so you can aid us effectively. Xinxiang remarked, the once unattainable power of the true martial realm seems within reach now. Bai Yu, triggered by his comment, rebuked, foolish boy, that's what those in the mortal martial world think. Hiccup, do you believe a true martial realm cultivator is powerful? Su Mayao interjected, speaking of which, something just occurred to me. Bai Yu gently slapped him and continued, beyond the true martial realm, there's the Nirvana realm, the immortal martial realm. They possess strength enough to ascend to the immortal martial world. Did you hear that, you lackadaisical boy? Xinxiang, feeling alarmed, stammered, I understand, Sister Yu. There's no need to be so angry, right? As Bai Yu loomed over him, Su Mayao remarked, Senior sister is intoxicated. I just remembered she's never even touched alcohol, yet she gets drunk from just a single drop. Xinxiang was taken aback. What? I would appreciate it if you could forget about this, little sister, Su Mayao requested. Su Mayao explained, we cultivators can use our true qi to dispel the effects of alcohol. The last time senior sister got drunk was hundreds of years ago. Who can recall something from that long ago? Meanwhile, Bai Yu remained on the ground, her presence imposing. She commanded, now, let me train you properly. Hurry up and improve yourself. Xinxiang, feeling overwhelmed, shouted, help, help me. Ouch, ouch. Later, on the mountain, Bai Yu's voice cut through the air. Watch this move. With determination, she charged forward, unleashing her attack. Struggling to defend himself, Xinxiang thought quickly, Sister Yu has a yin body and needs yang true qi to resist it. Although cultivating with her is difficult, it can help me increase my vermilion bird true qi rapidly. Bai Yu's tone turned harsh. Your speed can barely keep up, but if you can block this move, you'll pass. With a swift leap, she executed her technique, the Lone Star Demon Kick. Ah! Xinxiang gritted his teeth, standing firm as he blocked the attack. But Bai Yu's strike was overwhelmingly powerful, causing a massive explosion that sent him staggering backwards. Regaining consciousness, Bai Yu realized the severity of the situation. Oh no! I can't stop it, she murmured, calling out to Xinxiang. Suddenly, Xinxiang landed behind her, appearing unscathed. That was close. I almost fell, he remarked casually. Sister Yu, your kick is too terrifying. If you had added true qi to it, I really might have met Lord Hades. Bai Yu was astonished to see him unharmed. You. She trailed off, lost for words. Su Mayao arrived, inquiring, tell me, when did you learn the Vermilion Bird Fire Wings divine skill? Xinxiang smirked in response, it happened 2 days ago. I didn't intend to comprehend it while practicing with Sister Yu, so I was planning to ask you to see it. Su Mayao whispered, why didn't senior sister notice that this brat's aura has always been there? Could it be that you're upset? Xinxiang intervened, his cheeks flushing slightly. Even if I fall, receiving such care from Sister Yu is still worth it. Bai Yu grew furious at his words, while Su Mayao chuckled softly. In the next moment, Bai Yu delivered a powerful blow to Xinxiang, urging him to continue cultivating for another 3 hours. Outside Wohu City, amidst the mountains and forests, Xinxiang, engrossed in cultivating his true fire qi, remarked, although the Vermilion Bird Fire Wings are convenient, mastering control over this true qi still requires extensive cultivation. Just then, his attention was drawn to the scene unfolding nearby, where a kid was engaged in combat with mountain bandits. The kid charged forward, shouting defiantly, Hey, mountain bandits! Do you know who we are? With a powerful strike, he launched into the fray. Observing from a distance, Shen Xiang recognized the fighting style.
Flowing Cloud Sword Technique.
They must be from the Shui family. On the surface, an unexpected turn of events unfolded as a monstrous bandit appeared, interrupting the kids' encounter with the mountain bandits. With a menacing grin, the bandit declared, "Who cares who you are? I'll rob you today." Before he could finish his threat, Shen Xiang intervened with a powerful kick to the bandit's face, sending him crashing to the ground. Breathing a sigh of relief, Shen Xiang remarked, "Fortunately, I've arrived in time." He then turned his cold gaze towards the bandit. "How dare you rob our Shin family's guests? You're all incredibly audacious." As fear gripped the other bandits upon hearing the mention of the Shin family, one of them nervously inquired, "What should we do, boss?" Their leader barked out orders, "Let's fight together." That's Shen Xiang, a 6th-level mortal martial realm practitioner. Don't engage him one-on-one. A smirk tugged at Shen Xiang's lips. 6th level? That's more than enough to deal with you. With a swift motion, he summoned a spiritual rope into his hand. "Feel the wrath of my white tiger whip. D." With a menacing flourish, Shen Xiang unleashed his whip, ready to take on the bandits. With a determined stride, Shen Xiang charged forward, lashing out with powerful whips that caused the bandits immense pain. Their cries echoed through the forest as they writhed in agony. "You knew they were from the Shin family and still dared to attack?" Shen Xiang's voice dripped with disdain. "You're just the mountain bandits from Wohu City, aren't you?" At that moment, the bandit leader charged from behind, bellowing, "What nonsense!" With a thunderous roar, he unleashed an attack that shattered the ground. But Shen Xiang easily evaded the attack, leaping into the air and striking the leader's back with his white tiger whip. "Too slow," he taunted. The leader grunted in pain, realizing his mistake. "I underestimated this brat. We won't win a prolonged battle against him. Brothers, retreat." With their leader's command, the bandits hastily retreated from the scene, disappearing into the depths of the forest. Watching them flee, Shen Xiang landed back on the ground, a thoughtful expression on his face. "These bandits seem odd. It's better not to chase them," he mused, sensing that there was more to the situation than met the eye. At that moment, 2 children emerged from behind, inquiring, "Are you young Master Shen Xiang of the Shin family?" "I'm Xuemin. Thank you for saving us." One of them expressed gratitude. The other introduced himself as Shuezhiliang. "I'm not skilled at cultivation, so I was nearly defeated by the mountain bandits. If word gets out, the Shui family will be disgraced," lamented Xueming. Shen Xiang reassured them, "I fear those assailants may not be ordinary mountain bandits." Xuemin, his expression filled with concern, queried, "Why do you say that, Brother Shen?" Shen Xiang explained, "Based on the skirmish we just had, the bandit leader possesses at least the strength of a 6th-level mortal martial realm practitioner. Considering the entire Wohu city, how many 6th-level bandits exist, and how many would personally engage in house robbery?" Shuezhiliang inquired, "So, what does that imply, Brother Shen?" Shen Xiang responded, "I'm uncertain at this moment, but rest assured, you won't come to harm on Shin family territory. Follow me." Later, in the mountains, Xueming's observation skills are truly remarkable, Xueming remarked. "And Brother Shen isn't just strong. His intellect is razor-sharp," Shuezhiliang chimed in. "He's leagues ahead of that weakling from the Yao family," Xuemin added disdainfully. Shen Xiang inquired, "Are you referring to Yao Tianhua?" Xuemin explained, "Brother Shen, didn't you know? Yao Tianhua was short and frail, and as a child, he was treated like a girl." Shuezhiliang scoffed, "Humph. He still dares to aspire to marry our Cien, a frog in a well dreaming of eating swan meat." As they conversed, a carriage pulled by bullet cards arrived and came to a stop before them. A voice announced, "He's here." From the carriage, a small sword shot out towards Shen Xiang. Shen Xiang effortlessly caught the sword with his hand, the force of his grip creating a powerful gust. Astounded, the 2 companions marveled. What tremendous strength! A voice from the carriage demanded, "You three there, identify yourselves at once, or face the consequences." Xinxiang introduced himself icily, Xinxiang from the Shin family. Then he demanded loudly, "And who might you be? How dare you stir up trouble in Wohu City?" The person in the carriage, clearly dissatisfied, slammed his hand down, exclaiming, "This Shan Xiang. He knows this is the Yao family's carriage, yet he still speaks so audaciously?" Indeed, it was Yao Tianhua who emerged from the carriage. He beckoned to the Shui brothers, "Come with me. Let's go down and deal with him." Xinxiang smirked and asked the Shui brothers, "Is that Yao Tianhua? Just as you described." "Well then, my apologies. So, you're the young master of the Yao family, the renowned pill-refining genius. My mistake." Upon hearing Xinxiang's remark, Yao Tianhua mused, "Seems he knows how to conduct himself." To which Xinxiang added, "It's a shame he's so feeble he requires his maid's assistance to disembark." Yao Tianhua, incensed by the jab, fumed while the Shui brothers chuckled. Shui Zhiliang quipped, "Isn't a weak willow swaying in the wind usually a description for women?"
Xueming Kaindin. Ah,
Brother Shin's humor is spot on. Yao Tianhua bellowed, "What's the meaning of this? Are you seeking trouble?" With a smile, Xinxiang replied, "Bullying the weak isn't the Shin family's style. Mr. Yao, please refrain." Yao Tianhua, continually provoked, brandished his sword and charged forward, bellowing, "You despicable scoundrel! You've crossed the line." Observing his movements, Xinxiang noted, "His true qi is condensing into a qi saber." It seems Yao Tianhua is also at the 6th level of the mortal martial realm. With a swift dodge, Xinxiang evaded the attack and challenged, "Do you think this level is enough to intimidate me? Watch closely. This is how true qi is wielded." Just as Xinxiang prepared to retaliate, a loud voice echoed from behind, "Tianhua." With those words, a strange pressure surged from the carriage, suspending Xinxiang mid-air and launching a counterattack. In the next moment, a powerful blow struck Xinxiang, catching him off guard. After regaining his footing, Xinxiang roared in anger, "Is the Yao family only capable of sneak attacks?" A figure emerged from the carriage, stating, "Shun family brat, I won't stoop to fighting you." The attack earlier was merely a warning. It was the 7th elder of the Yao family. Witnessing the scene unfold, the Shui brothers were incensed. Xuemin sneered, "The Yao family truly lacks honor." Shui Zhiliang added, "They resort to a sneak attack even when they outnumber us." The Yao family elder interjected, "Tianhua, if you're representing the Yao family in battle, you should adhere to our principles of honorable combat. What's the purpose of fighting in such a manner?" Yao Tianhua responded with a faint smile, as the 7th elder suggests. Then, turning to Xinxiang, he declared, "The engagement letter from the Yao family should have been delivered to the Shun family's residence. In 10 days, the trial will commence on the designated grounds." Upon hearing of the engagement, the trio was seething. Inhale. In the next moment, Xinxiang let out a resounding roar, unleashing powerful waves that instantly obliterated their carriage. Yao Tianhua shouted, "Xinxiang, what do you want?" Xinxiang replied ominously, "I'm well versed in the sound whistling technique too, and the 7th elder is willing to strike a deal with me. It's only fair to return the favor, isn't it?" The Yao family's elder bellowed in fury, "Shun family's son, you better comprehend the gravity of your actions." Xinxiang stepped forward, declaring, "I'll meet you in the Shin family's martial arts arena in 10 days. Back in Xinxiang's chamber, he addressed the Shui brothers, "Both of you, please attend the banquet in the main courtyard. There's something I must handle." Shui Zhiliang nodded, "Of course, Brother Shin." Xueming added fervently, "Brother Shin, you must defeat Yao Tianhua." As Xinxiang closed the door, he thought to himself, "Yao Tianhua, this time." In the blink of an eye, Xian burst in, shouting, "Brother Xiaoxiang." She leaned in and embraced him tightly, eagerly asking, "I haven't seen you in ages. Did you miss me?" Xinxiang inquired. Xian, what brings you here? With a bright smile, Xian replied, Hee, I heard you'll be dueling Yao Tianhua. I'm here to root for you. Then, her expression shifted abruptly. Wait? Confused, Xinxiang asked, What's wrong, Xian? Xian sniffed the air, her eyes ablaze. You smell like another woman. Brother Xiaoxiang, are you seeing someone behind my back? Xinxiang stammered, And no, that's not it. Some elders have visited me recently. You're overthinking it, Xian. Xian calmed down. Oh, I see. Meanwhile, Xinxiang mused, Sister Meiyao and Sister Yu are indeed considered elders. It's not a lie. Then, Xian asked, Brother Xiaoxiang, do you know about the martial arts sects? Xinxiang pondered. The martial arts sects? Are they the 8 sects in the mortal martial arts world? Xian explained. I've heard that even the lowest cultivation among them is a master of the 9th level of the mortal martial realm. There's a senior from the martial arts sect who wishes to meet Brother Xiaoxiang, but they said you have to pass a trial first. Brother Xiaoxiang, you can defeat Yao Tianhua, right? In response, Xinxiang swiftly embraced her, reassuring them, I promise you, I will emerge victorious. Xian beamed. I knew Brother Xiaoxiang was the best. Then, a realization struck her. Oh, I just remembered. Uncle Shin is now the Patriarch. I must congratulate him in person. With that, she hurriedly departed. Xinxiang questioned, Sister Meiyao, can't even Xian know about your existence? She's the person I trust the most besides my father. Bai Yu retorted, Absolutely not. You're so weak that if you encounter any of our deadly enemies, you'll perish without a trace. Su Meiyao added, And even though Yao Tianhua might not excel in martial arts like you or alchemy, you've witnessed his ability to condense true qi fire into a qi saber, haven't you? Xinxiang nodded. Indeed. To defeat him, I must refine my control over true qi fire. With resolve, he exclaimed, Divine domain, open. In the next moment, he entered the divine domain world. Su Meiyao cautioned him, Little brat, it's too soon for the second trial. Your physical body won't withstand it. Xinxiang insisted, But it's the only way I can improve quickly. As he spoke, a flying beast appeared in the distance. Approaching with immense speed, it unleashed a deafening roar, radiating true fire qi. Xinxiang swiftly blocked the attack, resolving, Regardless of the trial's challenges, I will overcome them all. Suddenly, his eyes widened in realization. This, a flaming mountain crafted by Baifeng? Su Meiyao confirmed, The second trial is quite straightforward. Destroy this, the 1,000 infernal burial mountain. Upon hearing this, Xinxiang surged his true qi fire and unleashed a devastating explosive punch, causing a massive fiery explosion. But to his dismay, the mountain remained unscathed. It's scorching me. Merely touching it feels like my bones are being roasted. Observing from a distance, Su Meiyao intervened. How long do you intend to keep fighting? Xinxiang replied in frustration, Sister Meiyao, I've been attacking this flaming mountain with all my might for an hour. Is there truly a way to break it? Su Meiyao scolded, You fool! The entire mountain is enveloped in Baifeng's flames. Unless you eliminate these flames, your attacks will be futile. Listen carefully. The 1,000 flames of Fire Burial Mountain is the origin of Baifeng's flames. All you need to do is immerse yourself in them and absorb as much of Baifeng's flames as possible with your body. Only then can you destroy the mountain. Xinxiang pondered, Use my body to absorb Baifeng's flames? Su Meiyao cautioned, You felt the impact just now. Merely touching Baifeng's flames caused your body to start melting. That's why I said the second trial is too soon for you. It's best to give up. With those words, she began to open a void, intending to depart. However, her attention was quickly drawn back as Xinxiang delivered a powerful punch to the ground, shattering it instantly and releasing a devastating fiery aura. he exclaimed. It's only the second level of the trial. How can I retreat? Sister Yu, with your own body, surely you possess some methods to assist me. Bai Yu responded, in my prime, I could counteract Bai Feng's fire with a wave of my hand, but now, my abilities are greatly diminished, offering you only limited protection. Are you certain you wish to proceed? Xinxiang affirmed, absolutely. Even without Sister Yu's aid, I'll press on. I made a promise to Cien that I would emerge victorious. I refused to let her down to someone like Yao Tianhua. With determination, he charged forward at lightning speed and struck directly into the mountain, piercing it through. As a massive burst of lava erupted from the mountain, Su Meiyao couldn't help but sneer, this little brat. After enduring for 7 days, Shanxiang finally emerged from the lava, his entire body scorched. Despite his injuries, he declared, finally, it's time for the last step. Observing the determination in his eyes, Su Meiyao praised, Shanxiang, your perseverance once again surpasses my expectations. Remarkably, you soaked in the 1,000 flames of Fire Burial Mountain for 7 days and absorbed all of Bai Feng's flames. Xinxiang replied with a smile, of course, I won't give up easily. However, Su Meiyao couldn't help but wonder as she observed him. His meridians and body have been severely damaged. It's a miracle he didn't collapse and die. But can he still participate in the upcoming competition? Xinxiang proclaimed, and now it's finished. Slowly but surely, his burned body began to heal with the aid of his true fire qi. Now, with his physical and qi abilities stronger than ever, he was poised to remain undefeated. 10 days later, on the day of the battle, on the battleground, the audience murmured in anticipation. Where is Shanxiang? Where could he be? Then, a messenger approached the great patriarch with urgent news. Xin Tianhu addressed the crowd. A few days ago, he expressed his intention to focus on cultivation, but I wasn't aware of his whereabouts. He should be returning soon. On stage, Yao Tianhua's smirk widened. So Xinxiang doesn't have the guts to face me? The Shin family truly is amusing. In a taunting tone, he continued, if I had known earlier, I wouldn't have agreed to that bet. I could have spared the South Martial Kingdom from such embarrassment. I highly doubt Xinxiang will show up. The spectators murmured, the young master of the Yao family has been studying alchemy since childhood, while Xinxiang has just begun his enlightenment. There's no comparison. As Xinxiang arrived and questioned, Yao Tianhua's talent is so mediocre. Do you think all alchemists are as subpar as him? All eyes turned towards him as they exclaimed, Xinxiang? Xinxiang has finally arrived. Yao Tianhua asked incredulously, Xinxiang? You showed up? Xinxiang landed gracefully and replied, of course. Since you've made the journey here, I must ensure your defeat. Xin Tianhu pondered. It seems little Xiang's seclusion was successful. Xinxiang reflected, I owe a debt of gratitude to Sister Meiyao and Sister Yu this time. Without their assistance, I wouldn't have been able to catch up. 3 days prior. Little brat, I didn't realize you were so heavy. Xinxiang sobbed, Sister Meiyao. Su Meiyao wondered, can he still wake up? He seems to be in good spirits. Xin Tianhu sneered, this is where? Suddenly, his body emitted a cracking noise. Bai Yu cautioned, don't move. Your body and meridians couldn't endure the 7 days and nights of enduring Bai Feng's flames. Now, your body is useless, and your meridians are extremely unstable. Xinxiang insisted, but I still have a competition. I must go. Bai Yu countered, you can't even stand up right now. If you use your true qi, your meridians will rupture, and you'll die. The flames of Bai Feng contain nascent qi. To calm it, you need to continuously infuse the opposite force into your body. Fortunately, there is one place in the mortal martial world that meets the requirements. Su Meiyao prompted, can you guess where it is? Xinxiang guessed, the opposite of reincarnation. Is it death? The immortal demon pond? Su Meiyao affirmed, that's correct. The death chi in the immortal demon pond can help you counteract by Feng's flames and accelerate the recovery of your body and meridians. It was only when my senior sister reminded me that I thought of it. Xinxiang inquired, so? In the next moment, Su Meiyao tossed him into the pond, saying, "Let's go down and soak for 3 days, little brat." Despite the pain, Xinxiang grumbled and gurgled as he submerged. After soaking in the immortal demon pond for 3 days, not only did he heal from his injuries, but he also developed an immortal demon body. What a blessing in disguise. Then, he shouted, "Stop the nonsense. This is my Shin family's wager. The Millennium Snow Lotus and Hell Spirit Grass. What about your Yao family?" The seventh elder of the Yao family reassured him, "Don't worry about it. Our Yao family's wager is the Millennium Beast Pill and dried vein fruit. Both sides possess the finest treasures. Are you prepared for such high stakes? Never mind. Let's enjoy the spectacle." Shin Tianhu declared, "The alchemy furnaces on both sides have been inspected. Now, the alchemy competition officially begins." Yao Tianhua surged his chi powers and declared, "Xinxiang, I'll crush you." Meanwhile, Xinxiang ignited his true fire chi and retorted, "Try if you can." 2 hours later, the two were deeply engrossed in their pill refining processes. While the spectators from the Shin family started to grow restless, let's stay awake and watch them. There's movement on the Yao family genius's side. Yao Tianhua continued to infuse his qi into the jade bottle, and finally, it was done. He declared proudly, 5 spirit element pills, successfully refined. Shin Tianhu remarked, "The Yao family's genius truly lives up to his reputation." The elder from the Yao family smirked, "The spirit element pill is the most challenging to make among all low-level pills. That kid from the Shin family is doomed." Just then, Xinxiang chimed in with a smile, "Right on time. Mine is almost finished." Yao Tianhua retorted, "Your pace is much slower than mine. I'll be laughing if you can't finish." Xinxiang confidently announced as he completed his process, "Don't speak too soon. 3 intermediate marrow cleansing pills. Please evaluate them." Upon hearing Xinxiang's announcement, both Yao Tianhua and the elder were stunned. Yao Tianhua wondered aloud, "Marrow cleansing pills?" The Yao elder added with disbelief, "What kind of joke is this?" The eldest elder of the Shin family carefully examined the pill with a magnifying glass and exclaimed with surprise, "This is indeed a marrow cleansing pill, and its quality exceeds that of mortal-level pills." Shin Jinhua pondered, "Are these truly marrow cleansing pills?" Shin Hanhai added incredulously, "But he's only 16 years old. How is this possible?" Shin Tianhu grabbed them both with joy, exclaiming, "Everyone from the Yao family, come and see. Come, come." As Shun Hanhai inspected the pill, a smile crept onto his lips. "I never expected Xinxiang to possess such strength at such a young age." Shin Tianhu chimed in, "Ha ha ha, thank you. It seems this competition has been decided." Upon hearing these compliments, Yao Tianhua gritted his teeth. How could that country bumpkin achieve this? Then, Xinxiang extended his hand and demanded, "I won the bet. Bring out the loser's items." Though frustrated, the two had to honor their bet. The Yao elder communicated telepathically, "Take action, and the Yao family will support you." Yao Tianhua nodded grimly, "I understand." The Yao elder retrieved the items, stating, "My Yao family will naturally uphold our end of the bargain with the Millennium Beast Pill and dried vein fruit. This is quite a gain." As he spoke, Yao Tianhua surged his chi powers and charged forward with the Shadow Mirage sword attack. "Who said the competition is only about alchemy? Take this, Xinxiang." However, Xinxiang didn't seem particularly interested, yet he swiftly maneuvered and appeared behind Tianhua. While Yao Tianhua charged blindly, shouting, "Xinxiang, it's an honor for you to die under my Yao family's technique." In the next moment, Xinxiang delivered a powerful kick to Tianhua's back, asking, "Had enough fun?" With a groan, Tianhua collapsed onto the ground, bewildered. How is this possible? My real body was discovered? Shin Xiang replied calmly, Shadow Mirage is indeed the Yao family's signature skill. Break. With a loud noise, Shin Xiang's qi erupted, bursting in an instant. You have so many openings, you can't even maintain an even flow of true qi. No wonder I found your real body. Yao Tianhua pleaded, Let me go. Please, you bastard. Shin Xiang held Tianhua in the air, declaring, This time, I will completely cut off your sneaky thoughts. With that, he unleashed the powerful true firestorm-killing fist. Tianhua's mouth gushed blood as he was slammed onto the ground, rendered unable to move, essentially as good as dead. Observing this, the Yao elder warned, Shin Xiang, I warn you, there will be consequences for your actions. Shin Xiang turned to him, retorting, It was the Yao family who attacked first, and now they can't handle the consequences of their actions. Do you want to be dishonorable? I, Shin Xiang, will accompany you. Upon hearing the insult, the Yao elder stepped onto the stage, shouting, Arrogant kid, I will teach you a lesson. Meanwhile, Shun Hanhai yelled in anger, The young rascal can't defeat him, so now the old rascal has to intervene. The Yao family truly has no honor. Shin Jinhua interrupted from behind. Back then, both sides did the same. Shin Hanhai responded, In the first battle of the Patriarch's election, Brother Tianhu and nephew Shun emerged victorious, and we accepted it. Now, Shun Xiang is the hope of our Shin family. Brother Tianhua, let me join him. We cannot let anything happen to nephew Shun. However, Shun Tianhu advised, Don't act rashly. Let's observe the situation first. Amidst the escalating tension, Xian arrived and reassured, Don't worry, Uncle Shun. Shin Tianhu asked, Xian, when did you arrive? Xian replied casually, munching on dumplings, Brother Xiang can easily defeat someone like him. On the other hand, the Yao elder charged forward, shouting, Take this. Shin Xiang instantly dodged his attack and retaliated. But as he made his move, the Yao elder dodged and leapt into the air, taunting, Kid, I know your palm has great internal strength, but you can't touch me. Gritting his teeth, Shun Xiang thought, I didn't expect this old man's body to be so flexible. I have to defeat him before I run out of true qi. Then suddenly, his eyes widened as a silver pin erupted in his stomach. Damn it, how are my dantians? The Yao elder charged, shouting, Kid, your left abdomen was injured by Tianhua, and you were only pretending to be fine until now. He struck with a powerful blazing sun palm, but Shun Xiang managed to block it. The Yao elder sneered, You dodged that, so how about this? He attacked with his other hand, causing intense pain for Shun Xiang. Witnessing the scene, the family members grew tense. Shin Xiang, nephew Shun. Shin Hanhai suggested urgently, Patriarch, stop the competition immediately. He is our Shun family's hope, and we mustn't let anything happen to him. As Shun Tianhu observed him, he pondered, Little Xiang's aura? Xian remarked, Sure enough, Uncle Shin also noticed it. His opponent's realm is too low. The Yao elder gloated, Your left abdomen was previously injured by the shadow mirage, and now it's been hit by my blazing sun palm. The attributes of these two injuries are contradictory, and your meridians will be destroyed by the impact after the backlash. You're going to be a useless person again, ha ha ha. But as he laughed, his expression suddenly changed when Shun Xiang's mouth curled up. Shin Xiang asked, Really? Look carefully, old man. Where is the injury from the shadow mirage? The Yao elder's eyes twitched in confusion, wondering, How could there only be an injury from my blazing sun palm? You? Shin Xiang seized his collar, retorting, If I didn't trick you for a while, how could I make you reveal your weaknesses? With that, he lifted him into the air with one hand. The Yao elder protested, What? You shameless kid. Let me go. Shin Xiang surged his true qi, declaring, You struck me first. According to my rules, I will pay you back 100 times. And with that, he unleashed a devastating attack of true fire 100 storm-killing fists. With those multiple attacks, The Yao elder collapsed instantly onto the ground. Xinxiang asked, "Hey, why are you fainting? You still owe me 33 punches." At that moment, Xinxiang appeared from behind, saying, "Brother Xiang, stop." Then she tossed a pill to the Yao elder, saying, "Seventh elder, these pills can help you recover quickly. Take them now." Xinxiang asked, "Xian, what are you doing?" As the Yao elder regained consciousness, he couldn't understand her ulterior motive. Xian explained, "Oh, it won't be fun if someone gets killed. After using these pills, you can recover 50% to 60% instantly." Upon hearing that, Xinxiang also jumped with joy and nodded. Right now, he is almost recovered. "Brother, you can continue to fight him." The elder frowned upon hearing their words, and he stood up. Xinxiang praised with a sinister smile. "As expected of Xian, you did a great job." Upon witnessing that, Shun Haohai suggested, "Do you want to come to my place for a drink later?" Shin Tianhu nodded, "Sure." Meanwhile, Shin Hanhai yawned, "I'm so sleepy." As the Yao elder was being attended to by their people, he shouted, "Xinxiang and the Shin family, our Yao family will not forgive you guys. From now on, you, the Shin family, will never be able to buy a single pill from my Yao family." Xinxiang replied, "Stop talking nonsense. Don't think that your family can control the pills of the South Martial Kingdom." A slight blush appeared on Xian's face, and she said, "That's it, Brother Xiang, let's go. I'll accompany you back to the room to recover." As Shun Xiang's room, he asked, "By the way, Xian, which senior did you say you would introduce to me last time?" Xian smiled, "That's..." Suddenly, at that moment, a golden aura erupted from the entrance door. It was so powerful that even Xinxiang was shocked, and he inquired, "Who is that?" Then a lady stepped inside, emanating a very powerful aura from her body. As Xinxiang observed her, he pondered, "What a strong sense of oppression. My body seems to be dominated, and I unconsciously want to kneel. Who the hell is this person?" The lady said, "Under my royal power, everyone who is under the 9th level will be under pressure and bow their heads. If you insist on resisting, you will only explode your internal organs." Upon hearing that, Xinxiang wondered, "In other words, this woman is at least at the 9th level? No matter how hard I try, I won't be able to hurt her." The lady asked, "What are you going to do?" Xinxiang, who was using all of his strength to suppress it, said, "Is it better to kneel in humility, or to die tragically on the spot with dignity? She's making me kneel. How is this possible? I, Xinxiang, only kneel to heaven and earth, to my parents and my master. No matter how powerful you are, I have no reason to kneel to you." Xian tried to stop her, "Master," but unfortunately, the lady silenced her by binding her lips. She observed him and thought, "I have a sense of his power." Xinxiang was doing everything to stay undeterred. Harmony of yin and yang. All things are peaceful.
Aura symbiosie.
Life and soul are not divided. With those words, the lady's power slowly started to wane. She, too, was shocked by the turn of events. "My royal power?" She instantly retreated, her powers waning, as she wondered, was it cancelled out by this weird true chi? "Oops, it seems that I hit someone." "All right, you're good," she conceded. Xinxiang respectfully cupped his hand and asked, "Presumably, this senior is the martial arts master that Xian told me about? May I ask you, senior, was the pressure just now a kind of trial?" The lady master replied, "You are smart and have good potential. You're much better than the Yao family's so-called genius." Xian interjected, "You scared me to death. You said that you wouldn't bully my little brother Xiang." "Master!" Xinxiang exclaimed in astonishment, "Master?" The loud conversation echoed through the other members of the Shin family, drawing their attention. They wondered, "That direction? Nephew Shen?" Meanwhile, Xinxiang hurried through the corridor and opened the door, inviting, "Seniors, please have some tea." Xian explained, "Brother Xiaoxiang, I didn't dare to tell you because I was afraid that you would be distracted from the competition. Some time ago, I passed the entrance trials of the martial arts sect, and now the master is going to pick me up." Upon hearing that, Shun Xiang was shocked, pondering the significance of the martial arts sect, a realm beyond the mortal world where even the lowest individuals are at the 9th level of the mortal martial realm. He turned to the master and inquired, "Just now, I heard from my senior that people under the 9th level will be affected by your royal power?" The lady master nodded, confirming his understanding. "You guessed it right. Cien is already at the 9th level of the mortal martial realm, and with her talent, if she follows me for less than half a year, she may be able to break through to the true martial realm." Xinxiang was surprised by this revelation. The true martial realm. I didn't expect that my Cien was going to become a transcendent master. Cien responded with determination, "Of course, I want to become a heroine." Xinxiang expressed his gratitude. "It's a blessing for Cien to be able to cultivate with you, senior. I also hope that you'll take care of Cien in the future." The lady master reassured him, "Junior Xinxiang, I know what you are thinking. Although the true martial realm sounds far away, according to your potential and the true chi that I can't see through, it's possible if you cultivate hard. If you reach the 9th level, you can still meet her again." Cien chimed in with her concern. "I was most worried about Brother Xiang. Now it seems that even the master approves of you, so don't worry about it. Brother Xiang, you have to find me soon." Xinxiang assured her, "All right. When my cultivation level reaches the 9th level of the mortal martial realm, I'll find you." With those words, the lady master opened a void. As she prepared to depart, she turned back and cautioned, "We can't linger in the mortal world for too long. You can find her in the Divine Warrior Kingdom." "I'll remember the Divine Warrior Kingdom," he affirmed. Then, Cien spoke up, "Brother Xiang, Xinxiang reassured her, "Don't worry, I'll find you soon." Cien replied with a bright smile, "I'll wait for you," before departing. Later, at the Shin family's residence, Xinxiang placed envelopes on the table and asked his father, "Father, is this all we have?" Xintianhu replied, "Money and business are not an issue. But after the fallout with the Yao family, they've cut off our supply of medicinal materials. Without them, it'll be hard for the Shin family descendants to progress." At that moment, the Spirit Pill Pavilion master arrived, saying, "The Shin family still has 2 alchemists here. Medicinal materials aren't only available from the Yao family. With an alchemist, we can start anew in Wohu City. Who needs the Yao family?" Xinxiang inquired, "Spirit Pill Pavilion master, what brings you here?" The Spirit Pill Pavilion master retorted, "Don't address me as master. In terms of seniority, I should be your elder ancestor." Xinxiang's expression shifted at the unexpected title, and he wondered, "Elder ancestor?" Then, with a playful smirk, he quipped, "So you've come all this way just to jest with me, old man?" The master erupted in anger, exclaiming, "Shan Tianhu, take control of your son." Ouch. Xinxiang quickly apologized. "My apologies for the offense, our Shin family's uncle. Please forgive me." Uncle, grandfather's younger brother, father's uncle. The master chuckled and explained, "No need to dwell on it. Understandably, you wouldn't recognize me. In the past, your grandfather and I had quite the rivalry for the Patriarch's position. Eventually, I relinquished my claim and left the Shin family in a fit of frustration. I decided to distance myself from Shun's family affairs." Xinxiang pressed further, "But uncle, you forbade the alchemists from teaching me. Surely, there's still resentment toward the Shin family?" The master cleared his throat, saying, "Ahem, let bygones be bygones. With the change in Patriarch and exceptional talents like you emerging among the younger generation, why cling to old grudges? The Yao family's recent actions have gone too far. It's time for me to support the Shin family once again." Xintianhu inquired, "Uncle, you mentioned earlier that you were heading to Wohu City. Are you planning to?" The Spirit Pill Pavilion master replied, "Indeed. I'm going to Wohu City to establish the Alchemist Pavilion." Xintianhu carefully poured tea and voiced his concern, "Uncle, Wohu City hosts numerous powerful factions. If you and Xianger intend to open a shop there, won't you face considerable challenges? The Spirit Pill Pavilion Master reassured him, "Fear not. I, Shen Luzong, possess a considerable reputation in the alchemy circles of the Southern Martial Kingdom. Over the years, I've cultivated a network of contacts and resources. I'll lay the groundwork in Wohu City first, and once you've recovered from your injuries, you can join me. With our combined strength, we'll establish a firm foothold in Wohu City that will benefit the Shin family." Shin Xiang mused, "Am I suddenly gaining an extra grandfather?" 2 weeks later, in Wohu City, as Shin Xiang entered, his luggage in tow, he marveled at the grandeur around him. Truly a majestic city. If we set up our shop here, the Shin family's medicinal supply will never be in doubt again. Grandfather mentioned going right on South Heaven Street. Is this the way? As he was saying this, his attention shifted to the commotion ahead of him. He stopped a passing person and asked, "Excuse me, what's happening?" The person replied, "I'm just observing the city lord's third son causing a scene." Shin Xiang wondered, "The city lord's son?" The person explained, "Yes, and he's also the owner of Danxiang Pharmacy. There's been some trouble with the Ling Yun Pavilion. Quite a mess." A nearby chubby man chimed in, "Whatever it is, it's entertaining to watch." Suddenly, the signboard of the pharmacy was thrown to the ground. Shin Xiang rushed forward to catch it, exclaiming, "Ling Yun Pavilion?" He glanced up at the building's first floor where a voice shouted, "Third young master, what are you doing?" The person addressed was Hua Xian, the city lord's third son, who retorted, "What am I doing? Ling Yun Pavilion master, perhaps you should ask your people what they've done. Look at my injury. I can barely stand. Considering my position, I'm showing mercy by not taking more drastic measures." The Ling Yun Pavilion master protested, "Master, how could I have harmed him?" Shin Luzong interrupted, "You needn't explain. I understand." Hua Xian chuckled and declared, "I, Hua Xian, am not unreasonable. You injured my leg, so now I want your store." Meanwhile, Shin Xiang approached, casually tossing a small rock. As he neared the door, he flicked the rock, striking Hua Xian's wounded leg and causing him intense pain. Hua Xian bellowed, Who dares to sneak attack me?" Their guards speculated, "That was quick. Is he a master?" One urged the other, "Bow, protect the third young master." Then, Shin Xiang stepped forward, remarking, "You, the injured one. No, you're the third young master. Your leg seems severely injured. How are you able to stand?" Their demeanor shifted instantly. "I?" Then Hua Xian accused, "Hold on. Did you attempt to assassinate me? How dare you?" He ordered, "Guards, seize him." Shin Xiang retorted coldly, igniting his fire chi, "Humph, try to catch me if you can." As their guards hesitated and dared not approach, Hua Xian shouted, "Are you deaf? I said capture him. Didn't you hear me?" Shin Xiang smirked, "Seems your men have some sense, unlike their foolish master." The guard cautioned, "Third young master, this person's true chi is extremely sharp. It's best not to act recklessly." Hua Xian slapped him, yelling, "You're useless. Get out of here." In the next moment, his lightning chi surged as he proclaimed, "You're just a backwoods brat. I'll teach you a lesson myself. I'll show you the might of my twilight rain and thunder." Despite his attack, Shun Xiang charged forward. Hua Xian's face drained of color as Shun Xiang approached. In the next instant, Shun Xiang seized his neck. Hua Xian demanded, "Who the hell are you? What do you want?" Shin Xiang retorted, "What do I want? You've harmed my people and destroyed my shop, and now you want to know what I want." Hua Xian sneered, Your shop?" As Shun Xiang hoisted him into the air, Hua Xian pleaded, "Just put me down first. My father is the city lord. If you want to negotiate, we can discuss." Shin Xiang smirked, "Indeed. You are the city lord's son and the head of Danxiang Pharmacy. You have two major powers backing you." Hua Xian replied, "It's good that you know. So let me go." In the next moment, he was harshly slapped by Shin Xiang. Hua Xian grasped his face and sneered, "How dare you? My father has never struck me. You wretch, if you kneel and beg for mercy, perhaps the Hua family will spare your pitiful life." As the words left his mouth, he was slapped on the other side of his face. Shin Xiang remarked, "You're just an abandoned child. Don't overestimate yourself. Even an outsider like me knows that the Hua family of Wohu City is renowned for their Twilight Rain and Thunder technique. You can only wield the lower level of Twilight Rain and Thunder. Despite being the city lord's son, you're relegated to the position of head of Danxiang Pharmacy. In your father's eyes, you're already worthless. Don't you see? Even if the Hua family supports you, would they risk a conflict with two alchemists from the Ling Yun Pavilion?" Hua Xian's face swelled as he replied, "No, it's not like that. Everyone in Wohu City knows about this issue, yet the city lord decided to highlight it. TSK, this young man, punishing him but also breaking his spirit." Shin Xiang commanded, "All right, leave. If you persist in bothering me, don't blame me for being rude." Hua Xian sobbed, "I don't want this. My father is biased. He saw that I lacked talent, so he bestowed all the resources upon my elder and second brothers. The entire Wohu City knows that the Hua family's third son is a failure, and they all mock me. I don't want this. What can I do? Sobi." With that, he collapsed to the ground, clutching his legs. Shin Xiang replied, "Hey, calm down. Let me go." He attempted to release his grip on Hua Xian. Shin Luzong interjected, "Boy, we've just received word. The head of Danxiang Pharmacy and his elder brother, the young city lord Hua Lei, have brought a large number of people in this direction. I fear it's all for this guy." Shin Xiang pondered and said, "We can't afford to provoke Danxiang Pharmacy or the city lord at this moment." Hua Xian interjected, "You guys are talented alchemists, sons of heaven nurtured by your families since childhood. Of course, you don't understand people like me." Then, Shin Xiang stepped forward, calling out, "Hey!" He surged his true fire chi. Seeing this, Hua Xian frowned and asked, "What? You still want to fight me?" Shin Xiang responded, "No, I just want to tell you that I also understand how it feels to be ignored by your family and treated like a failure by everyone." Hua Xian didn't comprehend and queried, "What are you talking about?" Shin Xiang explained, "I, Shin Xiang, was considered a failure in the Shin family for many years. You can ask anyone about it. Luckily, my father always supported me, and I didn't give up. I eventually turned things around." He gently placed his hands on Hua Xian's shoulders and asked, "Do you want to work with me to shake off the label of failure? After all, no one wants to be seen as worthless for the rest of their lives, right?" A glimmer of hope appeared in Hua Xian's eyes as he asked, "Really, Shin brother Shin?" Shin Xiang assured him, "Of course." A few moments later, at the same building, Shin Luzong queried, "Boy, the other side seems very aggressive. Are you certain about this?" Shin Xiang reassured him, "Don't worry, uncle." The man on horseback, the young city lord of Wohu City, Hua Lei, shouted, "Quickly, apprehend the troublemaker." The person accompanying him in the carriage nodded, assuring, "I understand. Fear not, Master Hua. I'll give you a satisfactory outcome." Meanwhile, a woman in a purple robe silently observed the scene. The man commanded the guards to attack. Suddenly, a massive burst of fire, resembling a dragon, erupted from within, bellowing, "Who dares to cause trouble?" The advancing guards were forcefully repelled. Shin Xiang emerged from inside, shouting, "Thieves have repeatedly targeted my Ling Yun Pavilion. Is there not a single guard in the entire Wohu City?" Hua Lei interrogated, "Who are you? You injured my third brother and severely wounded Wohu City's guards in front of me. Do you realize the consequences of your actions?" Shin Xiang sneered, "Third brother? So you're the young city lord from the Hua family." "Young city lord, your brother vandalized my Ling Yun Pavilion without cause, and your guards unlawfully entered my residence. Young city lord, may I inquire about the appropriate punishment for your transgressions? Huale retorted, What nonsense is this? How dare you? He charged forward, shouting, You dare to provoke the majesty of the Hua family? I'll show you the consequences of crossing the Hua family. The guards, sensing their young master's fury, panicked, Run, run. The young city lord is truly enraged. Xinxiang swiftly dodged his attack. As he landed on the ground, he scanned for his opponent. Where is he? In the next moment, Huale descended from the air, bellowing, With this light and smoke, I need only one strike. Behold the Hua family's ultimate technique, the Sky Thunderstorm. A surge of lightning enveloped the area, aimed directly at Xinxiang. He blocked the attack with the White Tiger's golden shield.
À massive explosion en Suède,
Huale declared, When the hammer and lightning converge, you'll have no escape. However, Xinxiang stood firm, though the shield had burst under the force. As the smoke cleared, Huale was bewildered. What? As Xinxiang remained standing tall on his feet. Xinxiang sneered, The power of the White Tiger's golden shield is still insufficient. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have listened to Sister Meiyao. Su Meiyao retorted, Little brat, you told me you wanted to learn everything. Don't be so greedy. Huale landed on the ground, stating, You're fortunate to remain unscathed after blocking my attack. Xinxiang retorted, Fortunate? I don't think so. In the next instant, Huale charged forward, shouting, Don't get too cocky. Take this, and this. Xinxiang evaded his strikes, thinking, I noticed a slight timing difference between each lightning strike just now. Now's my chance. With that, he unleashed his chi powers, delivering a devastating blow that sent Huale crashing into the carriage. Huale gritted his teeth. If you dare to challenge me in Wohu City, consider the consequences. Suddenly, a purple aura emerged from the carriage, restraining Huale. A voice from within the carriage spoke, Don't be so hot-headed, young city lord. Both of you are promising young alchemists of the southern martial kingdom. Why must you fight here? The speaker was Hua Yueyun. Stepping forward, she suggested, Why not extend an olive branch and make amends? What do you say, young Master Xinxiang? Hearing his name, Xinxiang wondered, Do you know me? Hua Yueyun nodded. Of course. The news of young Master Shan's victory over the Yao family has spread to Wohu City. Everyone knows about it. Young Master Xinxiang is a rising star, but Yao Tianhua's defeat may affect the Yao family's standing in Wohu City, don't you think, young master? Huale thought, Hua Yueyun knows about my ties with the Yao family. Is she trying to persuade me to collaborate with another family? Hua Yueyun offered, I have a small gift. Please accept it. Xinxiang, with a slight blush, inquired, Is that for me? Why? Hua Yueyun explained, The third young master is the head of our pharmacy, and his misdeeds reflect on us as well. As a gesture of apology, I hope you will accept this gift. However, Xinxiang felt wary, thinking, This woman gives me an uneasy feeling. At that moment, Shen Luzong approached from behind, saying, It's good to be cautious. She can't deceive me. Don't worry, let me handle her. Impressed by his boldness, Xinxiang remarked, Uncle, you're quite the dependable old man. Shen Luzong, teasingly, grabbed her arm and remarked, Master Hua is quite skilled at such a young age. No wonder you hold such an important position at your age. Hua Yueyun responded, Thank you for your compliment, Master of the Ling Yun Pavilion. Shen Luzong continued, We should prioritize the bigger picture and cooperate extensively, right? Watching the exchange, Xinxiang felt embarrassed, thinking, I've overestimated this old man. Huale interjected, My third junior brother was injured, and it's a matter of the Hua family's honor. You owe me an explanation. Meanwhile, Hu Xian, observing from the upper floor, sneered, Brother, big brother isn't like a father. He still cares about me. Xinxiang addressed him. The third young master is fine, but young city lord, aren't you concerned about inadvertently harming him if you unleash the sky thunderstorm here? Hualei retorted, I don't think so. He knows he's a failure who can't do anything right. He only brings trouble to our Hua family. Even if he gets injured accidentally, it's better than facing disgrace here. As the words left his mouth, Shun Xiang's lips curled into a smile. Then, Hua Xian stepped forward, exclaiming, It's effective. It's truly effective. Brother Shin, your heavenly pill is remarkable. Besides healing the recent injury, it even addressed the kidney damage I've suffered from years of poor health. Xinxiang remarked, while treating the third young master's injuries just now, I also took the opportunity to alleviate some minor ailments.
Hua xin đại vet, Giang Cai.
Inform the Spring Breeze House to have the girls prepare in advance. I'll book the venue today. He turned to Hualei and asked, Brother, would you like to join us? However, Hualei became agitated upon hearing this. Hua Xian continued, If you're not interested, I'll enjoy it myself. Xinxiang also remarked, Young city lord, do you see that? Frustrated, Hualei shouted, You're utterly disgraceful. Let's go. As they departed, Shen Luzong arrived with a swollen face and blood from his nose. I didn't anticipate this, but the Hua family's third young master ended up rescuing me. Wait, is that your intention? Are you letting him understand his position within the Hua family and then seizing the opportunity to win him over? Xinxiang replied, Who knows? At least now, all of Wohu City will know one thing. Our Shin family's Ling Yun Pavilion is open. Later, at Wohu City's mountain, Su Meiyao remarked, Humph, I didn't expect there to be such a remarkable place like this in the mortal world. The spiritual energy is abundant, and my whole body feels much more comfortable. Bai Yuyu replied, I'm certain you can't stay in that ring for long. Su Meiyao questioned, I thought we were the same? Amidst their conversation, Shunxiang arrived, saying, Phew, the dragon slaver's cultivation efficiency here is indeed much higher. The nearby flowers and herbs, affected by the dragon slaver's effect, grow extremely fast. At this rate, I'm confident that within 3 months, I can have the golden spirit fruit that would normally take 1,000 years to bear fruit. Suddenly, an axe approached, spinning. Don't pick that. Xinxiang swiftly dodged the attack and questioned, Whose axe is that? A few strange individuals emerged from behind the bushes, shouting, We discovered those herbs. Don't even think about taking any of them. Su Meiyao remarked, You guys have ruined my appetite. Little brat, let's teach them a lesson. Bai Yuyu added, Well, let's be gentle with them. It's better to crack their skulls and spill their blood all over the ground. Xinxiang, upon hearing that, wondered, How is that being gentle? One of the men revealed his face and demanded, Don't you know who we are? How dare you steal our business here? Seeing him, Xinxiang thought, Have I seen this guy before? Then he suddenly realized, It's him. As Xunxiang pondered, the man charged forward, shouting, Didn't you hear me? Don't blame me for being impolite. Xinxiang observed him and surged his chi powers. He vanished instantly and reappeared behind the man. The next moment, he slammed his head onto the ground. Xinxiang stated, 2 months ago, you were a mountain bandit in Wohu City. Why are you collecting medicine now? The man, struggling, asked, What are you saying? Xinxiang raised his whip and replied, If you won't talk, I'll use my White Tiger Thunder Whip. With that, he struck the man's body, causing thunder and lightning to surge, inflicting immense pain. Then he threw him aside, saying, Get out of here. As the man hit the ground, it caused a huge explosion. As he lay there, he said, I remember. This is True Qi, your young master Shun of the Shin family. Xinxiang approached, asking, So tell me, who are you? Why did you pretend to be a bandit before? The man bowed on the ground and introduced himself. My name is Wei Dazhuang, and I'm a herb picker of the Wei family. I'm usually responsible for supplying medicinal materials to the Yao family. Xinxiang wondered, the Yao family? Wei Dazhuang replied, yes, that's right, young Master Shen. Xinxiang inquired, are you the one who disrupted the Shen family banquet? Wei Dazhuang admitted, yes, the Yao family's seventh elder instructed me to do it. Bai Yu intervened, saying, I have long seen that the old man is very sinister. Xinxiang responded, in that case, let's start with you. I will settle the old and new scores with you. Wei Dazhuang begged, please forgive me, young Master Shen. I was forced to do it. If you let me go, I'll help you deal with the Yao family. Yao Tianhua. He's on his way to Dongping City. Upon hearing this, Xinxiang's mouth curled up in a smirk. Oh. Later, in Dongping City, as Yao Tianhua's carriage sped along, the driver shouted, get out of the way. Don't you see this is the Yao family's carriage? Xinxiang appeared in front of the carriage, holding the thunder whip, and sneered, the Yao family? With determination, he charged forward and struck the carriage with his thunder whip, splitting it into two. Turning around, Xinxiang declared, I'm looking for you, Yao Tianhua. Yao Tianhua and the Yao seventh elder found themselves on the ground, both taken aback by the sudden appearance of Xinyang's powerful true Kai. What brings you here? Inquired the seventh elder. Xinyang countered, suggesting they figured it out themselves. If you wish to keep your actions hidden, refrain from such deeds, he stated. Enough chatter, seventh uncle. Let's deal with him together, interjected Yaoan, his tone laced with anger. Concerned by Xinyang's true Kai, the seventh elder fortified himself with pills to bolster his strength. I know you're shameless, but let's face this together, declared Xinxiang, gripping his weapon. Tanhua and the seventh elder prepared to synchronize their actions. Tanhua unleashed his Shadow Mirage sword attack, while the seventh elder transformed into a formidable figure with his blazing sun palm ablaze. Together, they unleashed a powerful assault on Xinxiang. Shanhu panted, questioning whether their synchronization had been effective. Meanwhile, the seventh elder trembled, expecting Xinxiang to be obliterated. However, to their surprise, Xinxiang emerged unscathed. After 2 months, the Shadow Mirage sword attack had reached the seventh realm. Truly the mark of a Yao family genius, Xinxiang remarked, shrouded in a cloud of smoke. As the smoke dissipated, they discovered Xinxiang protected by a barrier, much to their shock. He proudly announced his accelerated progress, surpassing even Tianhua. Both Tianhua and the elder were astonished. Xinxiang swiftly advanced towards them with his whip, launching a merciless assault that left Tanhua and the seventh elder bound tightly, spitting blood and writhing in agony. With the elder's nose bleeding, he implored Xinxiang to state his demands. Attacking us? The Yao family will not forgive you. Your family will face annihilation. Chanu, he warned. Su Meo intervened, explaining that the White Tiger martial skill thrives on combat and sometimes requires bloodshed to elevate its power. Xinxiang mercilessly tightens the whip around Tanhua's body until blood spatters, ultimately leading to Tanhua's demise. Xinyang feels no remorse, believing Tanhua received his just deserts. The following day, Duang visits Xinxiang's residence, bearing the medicinal materials requested. Xinxiang welcomes him and invites him for tea. As Duang prepares to sit, he informs Xinxiang of the commotion outside. There's talk that Yaoan, the convoy, has vanished without a trace, Duang reports. Xinxiang nonchalantly responds, so what? Duang, flustered, reassures Xinxiang that he shouldn't worry, emphasizing his ignorance of the situation beyond the disappearance of the Yao family, presenting an opportunity for the Ling Yun Pavilion. Xinyang grins broadly, declaring, from now on, I'll entrust the medicinal materials to Duang. No need to fret, young Master Shen, or should I say, Boss Shen. Duang responded, his nerves tingling with anticipation as he realized he was now aligned with the right team. Mid-discussion, Luzong suddenly appeared, flinging the door open and startling Duang. Luzong inquired about Xinxiang's urgent summons. Xinxiang smiled and welcomed him in, revealing a small treasure box and urging Luozong to open it. If you've dragged me here from Spring Breeze House for some trivial matter, I'll give you a thrashing, Luozong retorted, struggling to unlock the box. Upon successfully opening it, a radiant golden light emanated, revealing the prized contents. A Millennium Divine Fruit, Golden Spirit. Luozong was astonished at the sight of the Millennium Divine Fruit, the Golden Spirit. Hastily, he seized 2 of them, explaining that it takes a millennium for the fruit to mature into a tree, and another millennium to bear fruit. Both the peel and pulp boast tremendous benefits for high-quality pill refinement, making it a coveted treasure in the alchemy world. Uncle, you're practically drooling, Shinxiang teased from behind Luozong. Turning to Shanxiang, Luozong inquired about the source of this treasure. Shinxiang revealed that he acquired the Golden Spirit fruit through a special method, realizing the remarkable efficacy of the Dragon Slayer technique, thus understanding Su Meiyo's advice to disclose it. Xinyang decided to entrust all the Golden Spirit fruit to Luozong, intending to utilize them to recruit troops and bolster their strength, given the nascent stage of their Ling Yun Pavilion. Luozong, on the other hand, believed that with this enticing offering, the finest alchemists in the South Martial Kingdom would flock to their cause. After 2 weeks, a steady stream of visitors flooded the Ling Yun Pavilion daily, all drawn by the allure of the Golden Spirit fruit. Xinyang and Luozong watched from above, observing the bustling activity with satisfaction. Luozong was relieved, knowing that their recruitment worries were now a thing of the past. Suddenly, a loud voice shattered the tranquility, demanding to know who was in charge of the Ling Yun Pavilion. "Show yourself," the man bellowed, insisting that the owner change the store's name, as he deemed them unworthy of it. "Hey, old man, got nothing better to do? What's your issue with the name Dan Pavilion?" retorted Shangxiang. The man proudly proclaimed himself as the Dan King. Shinxiang and Luozong exchanged speechless and bewildered glances. As the man entered the pavilion and summoned his Chuanyong furnace, Shanxiang recognized him as Meng Bo from the South Martial Kingdom. Not only was he immensely skilled in alchemy, but he also possessed the iconic Chuanyong furnace. In the hands of ordinary people, it may appear as just a high-quality alchemy furnace, but in reality, it's a sacred weapon of dragon-level caliber. Impressed, are you? If you're aware of its true nature, then let's proceed to change the plaque, Mengbo declared. Unseen by anyone, Su Meiyo fixed her gaze on Mengbo, silently disagreeing with his self-proclaimed title of the Dan King. Su Meiyo also believed that Shanxiang couldn't afford to lose to Mengbo. She acknowledged the greatness of the Thuyang Dan furnace Mengbo held, and sensed Shanxiang's resonance with its remarkable essence. She hoped Shinxiang could acquire this treasure. Inspired by her words, Shanxiang proposed a competition to Mengbo. Astonished that a young man would dare challenge him, Mengbo hesitated. But Shanxiang remained resolute, willing to alter the plaque and even offer Golden Spirit fruit if he lost. He suggested a bet in which Mengbo would have to provide something in return for his defeat. Meanwhile, Luozong whispered to Shenxiang, "Uncle, do you desire his furnace?" Shenxiang boldly declared, "Mengbo is nothing but an old man clinging to his furnace. Once he loses, he'll have nothing left but to hand it over." As they deliberated, Mengbo scoffed and confidently wagered his Chuanyong furnace. Shenxiang and Luozong rejoiced silently, their plan unfolding successfully. "To ensure fairness, my apprentice will use my furnace in this competition. Any objections?" Luozong challenged. Mengbo, trusting in the Ling Yun Pavilion's reputation, acquiesced. Meanwhile, Shenxiang, perplexed by Luozong's decision to use his furnace instead of providing a straightforward answer, sought clarification. Luozong cryptically assured him that all would become clear in due time, proceeding to summon his alchemy furnace. The colossal furnace hovered in the air, emitting a radiant golden smoke that caught Mengbo's gaze. Luozong then dropped the furnace to the ground. Its immense size and the billowing golden smoke were striking. Luozong instructed them to ignite their true Kai fire and infuse their divine sense into the furnace. Shenxiang, bewildered by the complexity of the task for a simple alchemy competition, questioned his uncle's approach. Annoyed, Luozong curtly instructed him to follow his instructions without further ado. With no alternative but to comply, Shenxiang followed Luozong's instructions, only to be astonished by what he witnessed. His eyes widened in disbelief as he found himself in an unfamiliar realm, surrounded by eerie bloody hues and swarms of bats. The unsettling scene abruptly vanished, replaced by a radiant golden light emanating from the furnace. Lu Zong's voice broke through the confusion, explaining that this was how high-level alchemists competed in alchemy. According to Lu Zong, both Mengbo and Shen Xiang had entered this realm by infusing their true Kai fire into the pill furnace. He declared that this competition now encompassed not just alchemical prowess, but also the mastery of their respective true fire divine beasts. Mengbo appeared beside Shenyang, revealing that the bats circling around were medicine bats, true fire divine beasts born from his true Kai fire. Shenyang suddenly understood why he initially mistook this place for the divine realm. However, Su Meo clarified that this realm was not the divine realm, but rather a mere imitation crafted by later generations of alchemists. Nevertheless, the fundamental principles remained the same. Su Meo then questioned if Shun Xiang remained as confident in his abilities in light of this revelation. "Of course, I've endured a great deal here," Shun Xiang responded instantly. "It appears your first alchemy competition involves divine sense. Allow me to offer some initial guidance. You must first remove these medicine bats," Mingbo stated. Shun Xiang replied that there was no need, as he could easily control the true fire divine beasts. "Bai Fong, aid me," he shouted. The bird, Bai Fong, promptly materialized, emitting a powerful aura that startled Mingbo. Perplexed, Mingbo inquired about the extensive training Shun Xiang had undergone to command such potent true Kai fire at a young age. Nonetheless, Shun Xiang remained resolute in giving his best effort. As his bats encircled him, Bai Fong unleashed a mighty fireball. Shun Xiang directed it towards his opponent, but Mingbo swiftly erected a shield. "Heaven and earth are beyond control," Mingbo declared. Azure light emanated from his hands as he summoned his medicine bats, integrating them with his purple lightning flash technique and launching an assault toward Bai Fong. Bai Fong chirped in pain, and Shan Xiang bore several wounds, realizing that the injuries inflicted upon the beast would also affect its owner. Annoyed by his inability to penetrate Mango's defense and Bai Fong's sluggish speed in damaging the medicine bats, Shun Xiang grew frustrated. Wang's continuous cries of agony heightened his concern, fearing the difficulty of winning under these circumstances. Mango warned that each clash between divine beasts would increasingly drain Shun Xiang's divine power and jeopardize his alchemical foundation, advising him to surrender promptly. Observing Shan Xiang's suffering, Suwa became irritated, believing he had forgotten Bai Fong's initial lesson. Shin Xiang, bewildered by her remarks, received a sudden thump on his head. "You foolish man, always boasting about size," she scolded. With a smile, she remarked that adequacy was preferable, cautioning against excess. "If that's the case, what should I do, Sister Meo?" Shin Xiang inquired. Su Meo suggested injecting his true Kai fire and divine sense into Bai Fong, assuring him of its efficacy. Until this moment, Mango persisted in directing his medicine bats, employing a purple lightning touch to swiftly conclude the competition. He was determined not to witness a prodigy's downfall under these circumstances. Following his assault on Bai Fong, the bird fragmented into 3 smaller entities, mirroring Shenyang's previous encounter. These diminutive birds swiftly darted towards Mango's medicine bats, delivering multiple pecks. With each strike, Mango grimaced, his teeth clenched, sweat pouring down his brow, and blood rising in his throat. "The taste of chicken isn't half bad, thanks to Sister Meo's reminder," Shin Xiang remarked as Bai Fong divided into smaller forms, effortlessly matching the pace of Mango's medicine bats. The bird circled, seeking new targets, while Mango's screams echoed amidst his agony. "Now, this is truly our contest," Shenyang declared, a faint smile playing on his lips as he clenched his fist. As Shenyang's birds clashed with Mango's medicine bats, both Mango and Shan Xiang writhed in pain, affected by the intense battle. "I can only maintain 3 small Bai Fangs, Senior Dan King. I'm afraid you're in a similar situation, right?" Shin Xiang remarked. Mango confirmed, stating he still had 5 medicine bats. Assessing Bai Feng's attributes as akin to the vermilion bird's true kai, Shin Xiang devised a plan. He invoked the vermilion bird technique, Hellwig Inferno, transforming the three small birds into potent flames. Shin Xiang launched an attack on Mango, who retaliated with his purple lightning bamboo break. The collision of their techniques resulted in a powerful explosion within the Ling Yun Pavilion. Onlookers witnessed Shan Yang screaming in pain and coughing up blood. Some speculated on Shan Yang's defeat, while others anticipated Mango's victory, given the battle between a novice alchemist and the Dan King. To their surprise, Mango admitted to being affected by Shan Xiang's final blow, rendering him unable to refine the aura of Kai pills. As speculation swirled, Shan Xiang revealed with a slight smile that he had successfully refined the pills. Observing the aura of Kai pills, spectators were astounded by their purity, devoid of any impurities. Some even likened Shan Xiang's technique to a celestial art, impressed by its unparalleled refinement. "Senior, does this signify my victory?" Shin Xiang inquired. Mango acknowledged that it was indeed the new generation surpassing the old. Holding his Xinyong furnace, Mango conceded defeat in the alchemy competition against Shan Xiang, fulfilling their earlier agreement. He handed over the furnace wholeheartedly to Shan Xiang. Shin Xiang was pleased to see Mango willingly relinquishing the treasure and admired his graciousness. Mango confessed that he had become too reliant on the alchemy path over the years and expressed gratitude that the Chuanyong furnace now had a better owner. As Mango prepared to depart, Shan Xiang unexpectedly knelt behind him, humbly inviting him to join the Ling Yun Pavilion as its chief alchemist. Mango turned, surprised to find Shan Xiang offering him the golden spirit fruit as a token of sincerity. Meanwhile, Luzong agreed, recognizing that Mango's inclusion would elevate the Ling Yun Pavilion's reputation. Shin Xiang rose, and Mango expressed gratitude for his kindness, accepting the offer, much to the astonishment of the crowd. Intrigued by the development, they expressed interest in joining the Ling Yun Pavilion and inquired about the possibility of doing so. Shin Xiang then delegated recruitment matters to their newly appointed chief alchemist. Mango accepted the responsibility, and Shan Xiang exchanged a fist bump with his uncle, Luzong, who expressed satisfaction with Shan Xiang's actions. With an impish grin, Shan Xiang admitted to desiring both the individual and the alchemy furnace. Suddenly, a pavilion worker informed Shan Xiang of a carriage from Danxiang Pharmacy awaiting him outside the pavilion, inviting him as a guest of the owner. Shin Xiang speculated it might be Hua Yuan. Despite the late hour, Shan Xiang decided to visit the Danxiang Pharmacy. Meanwhile, at Danxiang Pharmacy, Lady Hua Yuan anxiously awaited her subordinate's return with news about Shan Xiang. A week later, Shan Xiang rode in a carriage, en route to a destination. Su Meo explained to him that Hu Yang village of the Danxiang Pharmacy might be affiliated with the Danxiang Taoist sect among the 8 great sects. As Shan Xiang reminisced, he understood that the 8 great sects were the epitome of martial arts prowess in the Qinwu continent, boasting vast resources and elite cultivators. Every aspirant in the mortal martial world coveted membership in these esteemed sections. He pondered whether the Danxiang Taoist sect's alchemy was truly as formidable as Su Meo suggested. If Shin Xiang intended to pursue this path, he would have to seek out the Tao sect, the most dominant among the 8 great sections. While Su Meo elucidated, Shin Xiang noticed her somber demeanor. Su Meo then gestured to a treasure concealed within his garments, lamenting its fiery nature, which tormented her own body. Realizing she referred to his Dan furnace, Shan Xiang retrieved it, noting its ability to change size and recognize its master upon blood contact. Su Meo explained further that the furnace could release Yin Kai to offer some resistance, but she bore the brunt of the pain in their shared affliction. Despite his laughter, Shin Xiang felt sympathy for Su Meo, recognizing her suffering. "You have no idea how to behave, little brother," Su Meo scolded, playfully tugging Shin Xiang with her foot. Shin Xiang cried out in pain as the carriage jostled.
Suddenly, Su Meo recalled something important.
She cautioned Shan Xiang to remember that among the 8 great sects, he must seek out the Tao sect. She warned him not to be lured by any woman, not to gaze where he shouldn't, and not to entertain thoughts he shouldn't have. Shin Xiang promised to heed her advice. After a few minutes of travel, they arrived at Danxiang Pharmacy and were greeted by the owner, Hua Yuan. Shin Xiang found himself captivated by her beauty, particularly her ample bosom. "Is there any special medicine in Danxiang Taoyuan?" Shin Xiang inquired. Su Meo grew annoyed, reminding him of her earlier warnings. "If young Master Shun is so curious, why not feel it for yourself?" Hua Yuan retorted, gesturing toward her chest and granting Shan Xiang permission to touch. Shin Xiang recoiled internally, reminding himself not to fall into her trap. "Did you understand what I just said?" Hua Yuan questioned. "Of course. You're trying to entice me into joining the Danxiang Taoist sect. If I become an inner disciple, you stand to gain rewards as well," Shan Xiang replied. According to Hua Yuan, it wasn't a ploy but a mutually beneficial opportunity. Shin Xiang then informed her directly that he had decided to join the Taomo sect instead of Danxiang. Hua Yuan was surprised, acknowledging that while the Taomo sect was the most powerful among the 8 sects, it was also the most challenging to enter. "Do you truly wish to go?" she inquired. "Without a doubt. I've paved the way for you," Shin Xiang stated. Hua Yuan expressed her willingness to bear Shan Xiang's children once he became a true disciple of the Danxiang sect. Though she understood she couldn't be Shan Xiang's primary wife like Su Yin, she was prepared to be his second wife. As she reached out to touch Shin Xiang, he sidestepped, causing her to stumble. "You're quite skilled at this. I imagine many exceptional juniors have fallen for your charms already, haven't they?" Shin Xiang remarked. Hua Yuan accused Shan Xiang of rejecting her and implied that she was aged and not of the same generation as him. She then turned away, inviting Shan Xiang to come to her anytime if he changed his mind. The lady turned back to Shin Yang when he mentioned having a significant treasure dedicated to Hua Yuan and expressed his intention to exchange it for spiritual currency. She was surprised and visibly excited. However, her excitement quickly turned to disappointment when Shin Yang summoned the Millennium Blood Spirit Grass. To provide a better context, the Taoimo sect reigns as the most powerful sect in the Qinwu continent. Benefiting from the original 3,000 martial arts system, it has cultivated nearly half of the continent's true martial realm cultivators, making it the strongest among the 8 sects. The Heavenly Divine Weapon sect excels in weapon refinement, mastering ancient and mysterious methods. Countless lost Heavenly Divine weapons are hidden within their territory. The Danxiang Taoist sect possesses alchemy skills recognized throughout the Qinwu continent and oversees the assessment of alchemists. Next is the Icewind Valley, renowned for practicing the yin and yang technique. Only cultivators of exceptional excellence and possessing special bloodlines are permitted entry. Among the 8 great sects are the lower 4 sects, the Beast Martial sect, focusing on beast transformation, the Ilian clan, cultivating sword intent, the True Martial sect, a subordinate of the Great Martial sect, and Lotus Island, a mysterious newcomer. After his discussion with Hua Yuan, Shan Xiang headed to the center of Wu City. Holding 400,000 spiritual currency from selling his Millennium Blood Spirit Grass to the lady, he was thrilled to realize he could now purchase more materials to cultivate golden spirit fruit. As he walked, he heard a loud noise and found himself standing in front of Wu City's martial arts tournament registration office. Nearby voices explained that passing the test indicated successful registration. "I almost forgot this was today," he murmured. Joining the others, he decided to participate himself. According to the notice, reaching the yellow color or higher would guarantee passage in the test. "Move aside! It's my turn!" bellowed Luan, fists clenched as he approached the trial stone wall. With a mighty punch, he struck the wall, causing a green hue to illuminate its top. The host declared Luan successful in hitting the green target, signaling his readiness for the preliminary test. Luan beamed with happiness until Shan Xiang stepped forward. "Out of the way, fatty. Why are you grinning? It's just green," the bystanders taunted. "Why can't I be happy? Even after passing, more than half the crowd didn't make it," Luan retorted before walking away. Now it was Shin Xiang's turn. He observed the trial stone wall, noticing its colors ranging from red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, to purple, each corresponding to the strike's force. It was understood that only participants who struck at least green or higher would pass. Clutching his fist, Shin Xiang activated his true Kai, reminding himself to take the challenge seriously. As his true Kai emanated, the crowd felt a sudden wave of heat, perplexing them. Shin Xiang then struck the stone, causing it to unexpectedly shatter into pieces. While the spectators stood in awe, Shin Xiang attributed the stone's fragility to its collapse, thinking he should have tempered the force of his punch. Suddenly, a man approached, demanding to know who caused the commotion. It was Hua Zhen, who, upon seeing the broken trial stone, wondered who dared to break it. Shin Xiang turned slightly and offered his apologies. Surprised to see it was Shin Xiang, Hua Zhen invited him to his home. Over a meal, he inquired whether Shin Xiang truly intended to participate in Wu City's martial arts tournament. According to Shan Xiang, the tournament was a grand event held once every 3 years, presenting a significant opportunity for young cultivators in the South Martial Kingdom. Therefore, he saw no reason to refuse the opportunity. Hua Zhen then revealed that aside from Wu City, this year's martial arts tournament was also sponsored by the Yao family. While he was unaware of the specifics between Shan Xiang and the Yao family, he noted the recent efforts of the Yao family to engage with Shan Xiang. According to Hua Zhen, the tournament itself posed inherent dangers, but the Yao family's involvement added a layer of treachery and malice. Brother Shin Xiang, preserving your life should be your top priority, he emphasized. I understand, and while reconciling with the Yao family won't be easy, I have a plan now, Shin Xiang replied. He then confided his plans to Hua Zhen, who felt a sense of nervousness and asked Shin Xiang if he was truly certain about his plan. The next day, Shin Xiang peacefully ventured to the mountains to practice alchemy. After hours of work, he sensed that it was time for the pill to materialize. At that moment, he pondered the nature of the Chu Yanggong Dan furnace he used, which even Su Meo couldn't fully discern. Activating his Azure Dragon's true Kai, Shin Xiang's profound mastery impressed both women. Su Meo advised him to continue transmitting true Kai without interruption, and Shin Xiang heeded her counsel, directing his Kai fire into the furnace. He smiled and invited Su Meo to inspect the changes in the furnace. Now, it exuded greater power and bore a dragon's visage on its front. Su Meo, feeling apprehensive, urged Bai Yao to join her in examining the furnace. However, Bai Yao hesitated, sharing Su Meo's reluctance. Su Meo insisted, recognizing Bai Yao's superior sensitivity to the furnace's energies. Sister Meo, don't pressure Sister Yao Yu. Her own body is evidently weaker, Shin Xiang teased Bai Yao, provoking her. Feeling offended, Bai Yao decided to inspect the furnace alone. As she approached and touched it, she sensed something peculiar. Trembling, she declared the furnace had taken on an air of mystery. Shin Xiang smiled at her, playfully encouraging her actions. An hour later, Bai Yao, feeling drained, knelt on the ground, weakened. Shin Xiang, intrigued, asked what she had discovered. Bai Yao speculated it emitted an aura of rigidity and vitality, suggesting it might contain fire dragon blood jade and be a divine dragon weapon. Shin Xiang was taken aback by the revelation. Su Mei, standing beside him, was elated at the confirmation of their discovery. She argued that a divine dragon weapon belonged to a realm beyond mortal possessions, and returning it to Mango would be a waste. With Xinyang's mastery of the furnace's power, Su Mei believed their plans for rejuvenation could be accelerated. Meanwhile, Bai Yao, unable to tolerate the presence of the blood jade, opted to retreat to the storage ring. As Shan Xiang continued to observe the furnace, he concluded that numerous mysteries still lay within it, awaiting his exploration. Notably, he observed several ancient runes emanating from the furnace, and their meanings seamlessly flowed into his consciousness. These runes revealed that in antiquity, denizens of the Cenen Mountains, under the Dragon Sun's influence, forged a pact with the true dragon residing within the fire dragon blood jade. It became evident that this furnace originated in ancient times, crafted by a man named Yin Longai under the sway of the fire dragon blood jade. Within the furnace, the true Kai fire enhanced the stability of the alchemy process. Notably, it housed a yin and yang reversal array, a discovery that thrilled Shin Xiang. This array, he realized, could accelerate time within the furnace, rendering alchemy significantly more efficient with only half the usual effort. Contemplating its potential, Shun Xiang saw an opportunity to refine a substantial quantity of Orokai pills swiftly, propelling him towards the seventh realm. As Shun Xiang scrutinized the furnace, Su Mao interrupted, alerting him to their pursuers. Confirming this with the sound of rustling behind him, Shin Xiang reassured Su Mao, reminding her of the presence of the women accompanying them. He swiftly checked their vicinity for the eavesdropper, then swiftly directed Su Mao to retreat into the ring as he prepared for an ambush. Responding with lightning reflexes, Shenyang employed his true qi to deflect the incoming arrow and redirect it towards its source. Infused with lightning energy, the arrow struck the spy, instantly ending his life. It became apparent that the spy was not acting alone. Su Mao deduced that these assailants were targeting Shin Xiang. Despite the danger, Shin Xiang remained composed, convinced that these attackers hailed from the Yao family. Deliberately orchestrating Hua Yin's release of information, he felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that the Yao family's agents had taken the bait. Yao questioned Shan Xiang's strategy, expressing concern over their current disadvantageous position despite luring out their adversaries. She queried what could be gained from this risky maneuver. Recalling Su Mao's earlier mention of the White Tiger True Kai's requirement for sustenance through combat with other wills, Shin Xiang grew anxious about the upcoming martial arts tournament, fearing a lack of worthy opponents. Confronted by a multitude of assassins, Shenyang swiftly summoned his whip, declaring his intent to utilize them for assessment purposes. As the adversaries launched their assault, Shun Xiang engaged them single-handedly, demanding to know who had sent them after him. Offering clemency in exchange for honesty, Shin Xiang pledged to spare their lives if they revealed the instigator behind the attack. The leader of the assassins rebuffed this offer, refusing to jeopardize the Black Wind Gang's future by divulging information. Amidst his comrades' incredulous stares, the leader's confusion grew apparent. Shin Xiang, recognizing their affiliation with the Black Wind Gang, affirmed their suspicions. In response, the leader invoked righteousness, unleashing a barrage of powerful lightning strikes. As the realization of their exposed identity spread among them, the group debated whether to continue the fight. Their leader remained perplexed, unable to recall disclosing their true affiliation to Shun Xiang. Dismissing his memory lapse, he swiftly ordered his comrades to eliminate Shun Xiang without hesitation. Unleashing the formidable White Tiger technique, Shun Xiang initiated the wild dance of the prairie fire, assaulting the assassins with relentless fervor. Amidst cries of pain, some attackers seized openings to target Shenyang, but he remained vigilant, evading their assaults. Employing his whip, Shin Xiang attempted to subdue the assassins, but they swiftly activated their shields in defense. Undeterred, Shan Xiang activated the second stage of his White Tiger technique, summoning the roaring tiger with deafening force. The thunderous roar incapacitated one of the assassins with its electrifying power, allowing Shan Xiang to apprehend the leader. The leader, taken aback by Shan Xiang's apparent advancement to the 7th level, despite Shan Xiang's true Kai sense indicating he remained at the 6th level, realized the potency of Shan Xiang's techniques, heightened by his fusion with the dragon furnace. Cutting to the chase, Shan Xiang interrogated, "Did the Yao family send you? What's their motive?" "I am the leader of the Black Wind Gang. Do you truly believe you can end my life?" The leader retorted defiantly. "How could I tell you?" The leader retorted defiantly in response to Shan Xiang's inquiry. Unfazed, Shin Xiang asserted his dominance, boasting of numerous methods to extract the truth from the man. The leader's terror intensified upon witnessing the manifestation of Shenyang's legendary Yin Demon True Qi. He gazed at Shun Xiang with a mix of fear and curiosity, acknowledging that Shun Xiang's previous displays were mere glimpses of his true power. Desperate to uncover Shun Xiang's identity and his knowledge of this demonic energy, the leader's apprehension grew palpable. Experiencing excruciating pain as Shun Xiang exerted his demonic influence, the leader screamed in agony. Shin Xiang pondered the potential connection between Bai Yao and the Black Wind Gang, given the leader's recognition of the Yin Demon True Qi. Bai Yao, however, claimed detachment from mortal affairs, suggesting the gang's lineage was traced back to incompetent disciples. As the leader's resistance waned under the torment, he muttered something indecipherable. Shen Xiang leaned in closer, straining to catch the words, and heard a mention of the Ling Yun Pavilion. Shen Xiang's mind raced with concern for their pavilion's safety. Blaming himself for overlooking the Yao family's treachery, he swiftly took flight, realizing they had likely orchestrated his departure as a ploy to attack the Ling Yun Pavilion. Filled with worry for his uncle Long Zhu and the alchemists within the pavilion, Shen Xiang swiftly arrived at the Ling Yun Pavilion after a few tense minutes. Recollecting the Black Wind gang leader's declaration of the pavilion as their main target, he was relieved to find the exterior undisturbed. As he prepared to enter, he noticed his father and Uncle Han Hai peering at him from a window. Shen Xiang's father expressed his disapproval of Shen Xiang's recent visit to the Daomo sect, cautioning him to behave appropriately. Uncle Han Hai, though well-meaning, seemed to misunderstand the situation. Ignoring their comments, Shenyang inquired about any encounters with troublemakers at the Ling Yun Pavilion. Uncle Han Hai reassured him that they had dealt with a group of bandits posing as cultivators, who were swiftly repelled by the Shin family. With a promise of support from his family, Cenen suddenly coughed up blood, causing both Shen Xiang and Uncle Han Hai to panic. They anxiously tended to him, worried for his well-being. Shen Xiang rushed his father to his uncle Luzong for a thorough assessment. Luzong diagnosed Shan Tanu's condition as disordered internal energy and backward-flowing true qi, prompting him to temporarily seal Shenen's meridians with his own true qi to stabilize his condition and prevent further deterioration. Deeply concerned for his father's well-being, Shen Xiang sought answers from Uncle Han Hai regarding the recent encounter. According to Han Hai, they had faced off against a group of bandits led by an 8th-level leader. Though they managed to fend off the attackers, the bandit leader seemed to suffer disproportionately. Luzong deduced that the bandits had employed a sinister technique with delayed effects. As he attended to Shenen's wounds, he made a startling discovery. The injuries bore distinct claw marks. Han Hai, upon examination, found similar scratches on himself and began experiencing symptoms of the bandits' mysterious attack. As Shenen and Han Hai lay in discomfort, Luzong reassured Shen Xiang that they were stable for the time being. Advising Shen Xiang to rest and focus on preparing for the martial arts tournament, Luzong pledged to care for the Ling Yun Pavilion. Grateful for his uncle's support, Shen Xiang expressed his heartfelt thanks before taking leave to heed Luzong's advice. As Shen Xiang walked away, he turned to Bai Yao for insights into the strange wound on his father's body. Bai Yao identified it as an imprint of extraction magic cast by a spellcaster, a technique designed to continuously drain an opponent's true qi and essence, ultimately leading to their demise within 3 days. Panicked by this revelation, Shen Xiang feared for his father's life. Bai Yao, however, reassured him, noting that the attacker's poor mastery of the technique and Luzong's intervention had mitigated its effects. She disparaged the proficiency of the Yao family's disciples, remarking on their inadequacy in practicing magic arts. Annoyed by the viciousness of the Yao family's tactics, Shen Xiang felt torn between preparing for the martial arts tournament and worrying about his father's condition. In his state of concern, Su Meo suddenly appeared and pulled him by the neck, surprising him. Despite his confusion, Su Meo's gesture revealed her desire to lift his spirits despite the use of such nefarious methods by their adversaries. She revealed that the ancestor who had mastered the evil technique stood right before them. Aware that Bai Yao had lost all her power, Shen Xiang inquired if she could assist in defeating the master of the Black Wind gang. However, Bai Yao promptly responded in the negative, stating it was beyond her ability. "Could you reverse the technique for my father and Uncle Chenong?" Shen Xiang pleaded, but Bai Yao clarified that her technique only took lives, offering no salvation. Feeling helpless, Shen Xiang's companion, Su Mao, recalled Bai Yao's unique skill. Though annoyed by Su Mao's revelation, Bai Yao agreed to aid Shen Xiang. They retreated to Shen Xiang's chamber, where he submerged himself in water. Bai Yao disrobed, revealing her enticing figure. Su Mao grinned, assuring Shen Xiang that with Bai Yao's technique, he would be safe from the Black Wind gang. As Bai Yao immersed herself in the water, Shen Xiang eagerly asked what she intended to impart. She dismissed it as incomparable to the techniques of amateur cultivators, asserting that what she would teach him could expedite his advancement to the next realm and enable him to absorb his opponent's power. Xinxiang fixated on Bai Yao's hand, sensing a potent magic within. With a gentle poke to Xinxiang's forehead, Bai Yao transferred her indulging devil skill to him. A vibrant purple flame enveloped them, and a brilliant purple light emanated from Bai Yao's finger onto Xinxiang's head. The following morning, within the confines of the Black Wind Gang's lair, members raucously chuckled over their deeds against the Shin family. They gleefully recounted the Shin family's purported intention to confront the Yao family. Wu City's lord, Hua Yin, joined the discussion, noting the severe injury inflicted upon the Shin family's leader by the Black Wind Gang, casting doubts on the opening of the Danking Pavilion. Amidst them, Wang Yishan, patriarch of the Wang family, cursed Xinxiang. The master of the Black Wind Gang harbored the expectation that Xinxiang would have been dismembered, having dispatched a contingent of 300 individuals to confront him. As they conversed, a gang leader was unexpectedly hurled into their midst. Startled, the assembled gang members rose to their feet, questioning the audacity of the intruder. "I overheard you all talking about me as I was passing by. Thought I'd drop in and see what's the buzz," Xinxiang retorted. The gang master then realized that the young man before them was indeed Xinxiang. He was taken aback and felt a surge of nervousness seeing Xinxiang alive and well. Xinxiang proceeded to deliver some unexpected news. Imposters posing as Black Wind Gang members had attacked him, but he had dispatched them all. Stunned to learn that Xinxiang had single-handedly eliminated his men, including his second son, the gang master seethed with anger. "You can play your games," Xinxiang remarked coolly, "but don't cry foul when I retaliate." He advised them to reconsider their allegiance to the Yao family. Wang Yishan, feeling insulted by Xinxiang's words, unleashed his true fire kai and disparaged Xinxiang as trash. As he lunged at Xinxiang, the latter swiftly evaded and activated his true kai. Xinxiang retaliated, sending the old man hurtling into the wall with a powerful blow. Yishan coughed up blood, leaving both the gang leader and city lord Huayan astonished at his inability to defend against Xinxiang's strike. "This is a matter between me and the Black Wind Gang. If you wish to meet your end, I won't hinder you. But if you desire to live, stay out of my affairs," Xinxiang declared sternly. The city lord swiftly seized Yan and opted to depart promptly. Meanwhile, Xinxiang locked eyes with the Black Wind Gang master, who stood atop his throne, commanding his followers to eliminate Xinxiang at once. Despite the palpable threat, Xinxiang remained composed. He warned the gang master of the repercussions for assaulting the Shin family. With a resounding roar, Xinxiang unleashed his dragon Cura, shrouding himself in its power. His adversaries were sent flying, engulfed by his azure flame that erupted from the gang's premises. In a swift and decisive move, he dispatched numerous foes, leaving only the gang master, who watched in disbelief as his comrades fell to Xinxiang's might. Suddenly, the gang master erupted into laughter, prompting Xinxiang to inquire about the reason for his amusement. The gang master revealed his mirth stemmed from recognizing Xinxiang's prowess as a talented cultivator. Transforming into a beast, he proclaimed that Xinxiang's life would meet its end there. To him, even if Xinxiang reached the 7th level, he remained nothing but a mere maggot. The gang master lunged at Xinxiang with his elongated tongue, but Xinxiang narrowly evaded the attack, though his hand was inadvertently exposed to the gang master's corrosive saliva. "Your bestial abilities match your repulsiveness," Xinxiang remarked through gritted teeth, his hand trembling from the burning sensation caused by the gang master's toxic spit. Swinging his hand to shake off the saliva, Xinxiang conceded his momentary lapse in vigilance. At that moment, the gang leader surged towards Xinxiang, vowing to make his life a living hell. Once again, he unleashed his tongue, aiming to ensnare Xinxiang, who swiftly employed his fire wings to evade the assault. Soaring above the gang master's head with incredible speed, Xinxiang heard the gang master's sinister declaration of prolonging Xinxiang's torment. Despite the relentless onslaught, Xinxiang observed a critical oversight. The gang master's excessively long tongue had become entangled around the hall. As the pillars began to collapse, The gang master grew increasingly frustrated by his entrapment. Desperate to free himself, he struggled to retract his tongue to no avail. Eventually, he was struck by a falling pillar, severing his tongue in the process. Reverting to his human form, the gang master found himself vulnerable, providing Shen Xiang with the perfect opportunity to launch a counterattack. Shen Xiang's fist tightened as he unleashed his Sky Tiger violent killing fist upon the gang leader, who coughed up blood before collapsing. "This is for your assault on the Ling Yun Pavilion and for harming my father and uncle. I'll settle all debts," Shen Xiang declared resolutely. Gritting his teeth in frustration, the gang master refused to concede defeat. He charged at Shen Xiang with a Thunder Tiger Lightning Array, a technique Shen Xiang recognized as his father's. Despite his efforts to defend himself, Shen Xiang was overwhelmed, sent hurtling through the air to crash onto the ground. Aware of Shen Xiang's curiosity regarding his ability to use Shen Tanu's technique, the gang master explained that the Black Wind Gang's founding master, a disciple of the 9 heavenly demonesses, possessed a long-lost magic capable of absorbing true qi and acquiring opponent techniques. He boasted that Shen Xiang had also fallen victim to this nefarious technique. "Do you feel your strength ebbing away? Do you sense a piercing pain coursing through your body? Fear not. Once I master your technique, I'll grant you release by ending your life," the gang master taunted, unaware that Shen Xiang was rapidly approaching him. With lightning speed, Shen Xiang delivered a punch to his abdomen. The gang master coughed up blood, sensing his power waning, and realized he hadn't absorbed enough of the magic technique, suffering from its backlash. "I've heard that this technique has been lost for centuries. What a coincidence," Shen Xiang remarked wryly. Shock washed over the gang master as he detected a magical aura emanating from Shen Xiang's true Kai. Believing Shen Xiang also possessed knowledge of the magic technique, the gang master was taken aback. Shen Xiang's ironic smile confirmed his suspicions, declaring his intent to unleash the true power of devouring magic. Activating it, Shen Xiang exuded a sinister aura. Unable to comprehend how Shen Xiang had mastered the secret technique, the gang master found himself under relentless assault, the hall enveloped in dark magic. Despite the gang master's screams of agony, Shen Xiang remained unmoved by his suffering. A week later, as the Wu City Martial Arts Tournament was on the brink of commencement, the host summoned all members of Group A to the center. Among them was Lang Yulan, a 15-year-old general's daughter. Together with her fellow group members, she entered the arena, the host withholding the rules for the tournament's first round. Shen Xiang was expected to join the group, but his absence fueled the crowd's chatter. They buzzed about Shen Xiang's confrontation with the Black Wind Gang, speculating on his safety given rumors of the gang's master's formidable strength at the 7th level. In Shen Xiang's no-show, Yulan voiced her reconsideration of his capabilities. With Shen Xiang missing, the tournament proceeded to kick off with Group A. Positioned boldly in the center, Yulan openly challenged her male opponents to confront her together. Nervousness tinged the air as they faced off against the lone woman. Growing frustrated by their reluctance to engage, Yulan took the initiative, launching attacks on her opponents one by one. Despite their attempts to retaliate, Yulan adeptly evaded and counterattacked, swiftly dispatching one adversary after another. As she focused on her maneuvers, the remaining opponents coordinated their efforts to overpower her from behind. Yet, Yulan, keenly observant, anticipated their moves. Executing a backflip with a taunting remark about their sluggishness, Yulan swiftly turned her attention to the man behind her. Despite his attempts to restrain her, she effortlessly evaded his grasp. With her final strike, she flung one opponent into the path of the other, culminating in their simultaneous defeat as they collided into the arena's corner. Spectators watched in astonishment as Yulan effortlessly dispatched the 4 men in a remarkably short time frame, though some had anticipated her victory due to her family's renowned flowing charm technique. Following the match, the host declared Yulan the victor of Group A as Group B contestants, notably muscular, awaited their turn. Disappointed by Shen Xiang's absence, which had been the tournament's main draw, some expressed frustration, including the 5th elder of the Yao family, who begrudged Shen Xiang's apparent abandonment of the competition due to a fleeting moment of anger. As Shin Xiang belonged to Group B, the host announced that he would be declared a loser if he failed to appear by the count of 3. However, just as the count reached 2, Shin Xiang made his entrance, stepping into the ring with a smile. The 5th elder glared at him, his annoyance palpable. Apologizing to the host, Shin Xiang requested a recap of the rules. According to the host, the objective was for 5 individuals within the same group to engage in combat on the stage, with the last one standing declared the victor. Observing Shin Xiang intently, the 5th elder of the Yao family suspected him of nursing injuries, despite his purported victory over the Black Wind Gang's master. Confident in his own scheme against Shin Xiang, the 5th elder had invested heavily in 4 formidable fighters from Group B, certain they would succeed in bringing Shin Xiang down. With the rules reiterated, the host initiated the match. The 4 men wasted no time in charging toward Shin Xiang, vowing to show no mercy. Shin Xiang met their advance with an unyielding gaze, inviting their aggression. Channeling his true Kai, he condensed his energy, creating a barrier that prevented the men from closing in, frustrating their efforts. Meanwhile, the Yao 5th elder was taken aback upon realizing that Shin Xiang had ascended to the 8th level, a development unbeknownst to them. Shin Xiang's promotion occurred through absorbing the true Kai of the Black Wind Gang master. Do you intend to concede, or shall I bring you down myself? Shin Xiang queried. Instantly, his adversaries opted for surrender. Amidst the crowd's jubilation for Shin Xiang's victory, Ulan eagerly anticipated her upcoming bout against him. Following the conclusion of Group B's skirmish, Ulan was beckoned into the ring. The host then announced that the second round of the tournament would commence in 3 days. Additionally, it was revealed that Song Ming, the crown prince, would be in Group A alongside Ulan. He expressed his reluctance to harm his prospective spouse, urging Ulan to concede defeat. Don't entertain illusions. My father's spirit wouldn't condone such a marriage, Ulan retorted. In Group B, Yao Chong, accompanied by Shin Xiang's brother, awaited their turn. Shin Xiang, I am determined to overcome you, employing any means necessary, declared Yao Chong. Shin Xiang smiled, noting Chong's departure from the typical Yao family facade, eschewing gentlemanly pretenses. In a sudden turn of events, a figure brandishing a saber leapt into the ring, charging towards Shin Xiang with murderous intent, claiming retribution for his brother Tanhua's demise. Shin Xiang questioned if the assailant hailed from the Yao family, but received no response. As the assailant lunged with the saber, Shin Xiang swiftly disarmed him with a deft kick, sending the weapon spinning overhead. Panic gripped the assailant as the saber descended perilously close, prompting Shin Xiang to catch it and admonish him about the consequences of wielding a blade. Consider this a lesson on behalf of Yao Tianhua, Shin Xiang asserted, poised to strike, only to be intercepted by Chong. Taking hold of the saber, Chong asserted the Yao family's autonomy in handling their affairs. His bleeding hand prompted the remorse of the assailant, who dared to attack Shin Xiang. I hadn't expected the Yao family to act so foolishly. Even with healing pills, 3 days won't suffice for recovery, remarked Nanang. In the absence of Ulan's retort, Nanang playfully insinuated victory in the tournament, teasing Ulan about their impending wedding plans. You're delusional, Ulan retorted, her anger palpable. Returning to Ling Yun Pavilion, Shin Xiang opted not to engage in further debate with Chong, issuing a stern warning of no mercy in their next encounter. Chong, unfazed, smiled and cryptically remarked that their paths would cross again in 3 days. As Shin Xiang departed, Chong tasted his own blood, vowing to avenge Yao Tianhua's death once the tournament concluded. Deep in thought, Shin Xiang pondered the peculiar behavior of Yao Chong, unable to pinpoint its significance. Suddenly, his attention was seized by the sight of an elderly man accompanied by masked individuals. Sensing an aura of profound true Kai emanating from the elder, Shin Xiang intuited that they hailed from beyond the mortal realm. Addressing Shin Xiang by name, the old man identified himself as Shan Furong, a member of the Shin family who had departed 50 years before joining a martial arts sect, thereby becoming an ancestor of the Shin lineage. Shin Xiang was astonished to learn of yet another ancestor, but also felt a sense of gratitude, sensing that Shan Furong's return bore significance in the impending conflict with the Yao family. harboring the belief that the elder had returned to offer assistance. Shin Furong disclosed that he had a singular purpose in seeking out Shin Xiang. Despite Shen Xiang's receptive demeanor, Shen Furong's demeanor shifted abruptly as he forcefully struck the ground with his baton, insisting that Shen Xiang apologize to the Yao family and refrain from exacerbating the situation. Shin Xiang, taken aback by this unexpected demand, expressed his confusion. He had believed that Shen Furong had come to offer assistance. However, Shen Furong countered that the Yao family had extended significant support to him throughout his tenure in the martial arts sect, and he disapproved of Shen Xiang's decision to antagonize them. Interjecting into the exchange, Shen Long rebuked Furong, denying him the right to claim allegiance to the Shin family. He emphasized Shen Xiang's importance as a rare talent within the Shin lineage, lamenting Furong's obstructionism motivated by selfishness. With a final warning about the Yao family's capabilities, Furong departed with his companions, leaving behind a sense of disappointment in Lu Zong, who lamented Furong's betrayal of their family after benefiting from Yao family favors. Shin Xiang asked if all martial arts sect disciples were like Shin Furong. According to Long, most were outer disciples, but Shan Furong held a higher status. Additionally, the truly powerful ones were inner disciples or true disciples. Hearing this, Shin Xiang became excited and more curious. After speaking with Lu Zong, Shen Xiang went to his room, sweat dripping from his forehead and his hands trembling. This was because Su Meiyao was above him while he did push-ups. Although he complained that he couldn't continue, she wouldn't let him stop. Despite the pain, he had to keep going. Bai Yao had told him that mastering the beast transformation required exhausting his entire body. Without Mei Yao's magic weapon, which increased its weight by 300 pounds, it would have taken Shen Xiang even longer to reach this stage. Su Meiyao smiled, saying she wouldn't let him go if he didn't give his best effort. Shin Xiang persevered until he completed 5,000 push-ups without resting. After completing his push-ups, Su Meiyao declared it was time for the second step. She explained that this stage of the beast transformation required Shen Xiang to enter his divine sense. Holding his face, she told him he must fight the beast formed by his true qi. She further explained that he needed to choose one of the 4 divine exercises she had taught him and visualize his true qi transforming into a beast. She tapped Shen Xiang's finger with her true fire qi, and he closed his eyes, declaring he would choose the white tiger true qi, as it was his main attack technique. Shin Xiang's eyes sparkled as he found himself standing before the white tiger. Staring at it, he listened as Su Meiyao instructed him to defeat the white tiger to master the white tiger beast transformation. This would allow him to use his qi penetration to cast more advanced gold spells. Feeling nervous, Shen Xiang wanted to ask Su Meiyao a question. His question wasn't about fighting the white tiger but about another beast he had seen aside from the white tiger. He believed it might be his dragon Xuanwu. It's that simple, don't you think? There should be an explanation, Shen Xiang asked. According to Su Meiyao, it was because Shen Xiang had 4 kinds of true qi in his body, so perhaps Xuanwu's true qi had also been activated. She told him that if he could defeat both beasts, he would gain 2 kinds of beast transformations. Shen Xiang became more excited, but part of him worried about what would happen if he couldn't defeat both beasts. Su Meiyao then explained that if he failed, he would be dominated by true qi's power and completely lose himself. She mentioned that the 4 symbols divine exercise was quite special, and that the danger from the beast transformation was much greater than that of ordinary techniques. Feeling nervous and annoyed that Su Meiyao hadn't told him this earlier, Shen Xiang realized he had no choice but to face the challenge. The white tiger dashed toward him, roaring, and the dragon followed suit. Shen Xiang felt terrified as Su Meiyao cheered him on, urging him to believe in himself. Overwhelmed by fear, Shen Xiang ran away from the beasts, screaming that Su Meiyao had lied to him and wanted him to die. After 3 days, the day of the tournament arrived. The host declared that round 2 of Wu City's martial arts tournament had officially begun. He called all the candidates to the stage, and both Yao Chong and Shen Xiang locked eyes. The host announced that there were no rules, and the last one standing would be declared the winner. While facing each other, Shen Xiang noticed Chong's wound, covered by a bandage. Shen Xiang threw a pouch to Chong, who caught it with his other hand. Shin Xiang explained that Chang's hand injury from the previous day had been blessed by his true qi, and without his self-made pill, it would be difficult to completely recover. He wanted Chong to take the pill inside the pouch, so no one could say Shin Xiang had an unfair advantage. Chong took the pill from the pouch and swallowed it, trusting that Shin Xiang would never poison a pill. Removing the bandage from his wound, he stated that he would still do whatever it took to win and avenge Tianhua, even though Shin Xiang had helped him. As he checked his wound, it healed instantly. Shin Xiang smiled, pleased to see Chong recover. He then activated his true qi and declared the start of the match. Before the fight began, people gossiped that the Yao family was crazy for letting a 7th-level fighter face Shin Xiang. Some speculated that the Yao family was colluding with the organizers, suggesting that Yao Chong might have secret techniques to deal with Shin Xiang. As the match commenced, Chong activated his Shadow Mirage technique. Meanwhile, Shin Xiang successfully executed a beast transformation, noting that Chang's Shadow Mirage was superior to Tianhua's. "Let me use this blow to test the power of beast transformation," Shin Xiang said, rushing toward Chong. However, he suddenly found himself unable to move. Determined to avenge Tianhua, Chong punched Shin Xiang in the abdomen, causing him to instantly vomit blood. The spectators were confused, wondering why Shin Xiang wasn't moving. Annoyed and in pain, Shin Xiang gritted his teeth and concluded that Chong had used poisonous gas to seal his meridians, preventing him from utilizing his true qi. Chong smiled widely, confirming Shin Xiang's suspicion. He explained that he could formulate the corresponding toxin by sensing his opponent's true qi in advance, rendering them unable to use it during battle. Furious, Shin Xiang asked when Chong had discovered his true qi. He then realized it must have been 3 days ago when Chong took the saber, suspecting that Chong had done so deliberately to identify his true qi type. Chong split his body, revealing his deceitful tactics. He confessed that not only had he designed the saber, but he had also orchestrated the incident with the boy 3 days ago, confident that Shin Xiang would never harm the child. This allowed him to catch the dagger with his bare hands, all part of his calculated strategy. It was why he had declared his readiness to do whatever it took to defeat Shin Xiang. After striking Shin Xiang again, sending him reeling in pain, Shin Xiang voiced his disdain for the Yao family. "Sure enough, I overestimated your Yao family. You're all a bunch of despicable and shameless bastards," he spat. At this moment, Chong brandished his saber, advancing toward Shin Xiang with a sinister grin. He warned that anyone aware of his secret would meet their end. The crowd was stunned to see Chong wielding the saber, knowing its use in the tournament was considered foul play. Despite attempts to alert the organizers, they remained silent, seemingly anticipating this turn of events. "What a bunch of unruly people," exclaimed a spectator. "Luckily, Yao Chang's plan is working," remarked the Yao fifth elder. As Shin Xiang lay on the ground, Chong prepared to strike the final blow, but suddenly a barrier materialized, shielding Shin Xiang. Bathed in a golden light, Shin Xiang smiled as he rose to his feet, leaving Chong bewildered. Shin Xiang explained that he had repelled the poisonous gas using the water true qi purification technique, crediting Xian Wu's influence for his ability to resist. Despite the bruises from Chong's earlier attacks, Shin Xiang remained defiant. With a smile, Shin Xiang revealed that he had accidentally acquired a second beast transformation. Annoyed, Chong insisted that Shin Xiang couldn't possess 2 beast transformations. "Is it my turn now?" Shin Xiang quipped. As he countered Chong's attacks, Chong grew fearful and pleaded for mercy, admitting defeat. Shin Xiang decided to spare Chong's life, despite Chong's earlier attempt on his own. However, he struck Chong's abdomen, eliciting screams of agony. Amidst Chong's cries, the Yao fifth elder leapt into the battleground, realizing that Chong's meridians had been ruined by Shin Xiang. "Shin Xiang, you've broken the rules and should be expelled from the tournament," the Yao fifth elder declared, summoning the battleground guards to apprehend Shin Xiang. Hu Yuan suddenly intervened, admonishing the Yao fifth elder for tarnishing the Yao family's reputation and the fairness of the martial arts tournament with his decision. She warned that the royal family wouldn't overlook such a scandal. Despite the Yao fifth elder's anger, Hu Yuan remained undaunted. Surrounding voices echoed Hu Yuan's sentiments, criticizing both the young and old members of the Yao family as shameless and suggesting the family was in decline. Faced with mounting pressure, the host was compelled to declare Shen Xiang the winner of the match. Shen Xiang stood victorious, a smile adorning his face as he secured his place in the tournament's finals. Behind him, the Yao fifth elder warned that the Yao family would never let the Shuns off the hook. In response, Shen Xiang admitted that his decision to spare Yao Chong's life was intended to expose the downfall of the Yao family to Chong firsthand. After the match, Shen Xiang and Hu Yuan left the arena together, sharing tea in a carriage. Hu Yuan revealed that she was only there to bid farewell to Shen Xiang, leaving him perplexed. She explained that she needed to return to the Deng Taiyuan. As Shen Xiang expressed his confusion, Hua Yuan teasingly suggested that he seemed worried about not being able to marry her. "If you come back with me now, I'll still be your main, okay?" she joked. Shen Xiang reiterated his interest in visiting the Tu sect instead of the Deng Tang. Hua Yuan reassured him, mentioning that she had already arranged for the next owner of the Danxiang pharmacy and ensured that the cooperation with the Ling Yun Pavilion would continue unchanged. Shen Xiang promised to visit her at the Deng Taiyuan when he had the opportunity. However, Hua Yuan playfully hinted that he might have trouble finding her since he didn't know her name. "Isn't your name Hua Yuan?" Shen Xiang asked. Hua Yuan explained that every master in their tradition was called Hua Yuan according to the rules, but it wasn't her real name. She then moved closer to Shen Xiang, causing him to feel both nervous and thrilled. Playfully, she poked his chin and suggested he put effort into finding her at the Deng Taiyuan. After bidding farewell, Hua Yuan departed, waving from the carriage window as Shen Xiang watched. However, his reverie was interrupted when Suwa appeared, remarking on Hua Yuan's considerable skills. "If you really want to progress, you could save more than 10 years of struggle by practicing dual cultivation with the senior sister," Suwa added. However, Shen Xiang considered her idea extremely dangerous given the circumstances. Upon hearing the host's announcement declaring the commencement of Group 2's match, he promptly returned indoors, eager to witness the impending duel. Observing from above, Shen Xiang inadvertently overheard two women gossiping about Ulan. They recounted an incident where the prince had allegedly made inappropriate advances towards her, leading to her retaliating by kicking him in a sensitive area. This purportedly occurred while Ulan's father, a general, was still alive. Concerned about Ulan's vulnerability without familial support, the woman feared she might fall victim to individuals with malicious intentions. Moved by pity for Ulan, Shen Xiang refocused his attention on the unfolding battle, observing her determined efforts to overcome Song Daming. Su Meiyao disclosed that Ulan possessed the rare ice and fire dual veins, a trait of considerable rarity. Despite this advantage, Ulan's combat technique proved insufficient to fully harness the potential of ice and fire True Kai. Su Meiyao lamented this fact, noting that with proficient technique, Ulan could overwhelm her opponent effortlessly. If she could refine her skills, Nanming would undoubtedly face defeat. In a sudden turn, Nanming armed himself with a weapon and aimed an attack at Ulan's waist. Enraged by the assault, Ulan grimaced at her wound, providing Nanming with an opening to deliver a swift kick, causing her to cough up blood. Clutching her wound, Ulan condemned Nanming as despicable for resorting to a concealed weapon. Nanming retorted, challenging Ulan to reveal the alleged hidden weapon to the spectators. Observing keenly, Shen Xiang discerned that Nanming indeed wielded an ice needle, validating Ulan's claim, especially given her lack of retaliation. Nanming proclaimed himself the victor of their altercation, while Ulan, seething with anger, remained silent. With the host's declaration of Nanming's victory in Group B Round 2, a smug smile graced his lips. At that moment, Suwa abruptly kicked Shen Xiang, demanding his assistance in aiding Ulan. Startled, Ulan turned towards the voice calling her name. Shen Xiang swiftly noticed the ice needle lodged in Ulan's waist and recognized its poisonous nature, prompting him to offer her a dispelling pill. Without hesitation, Ulan accepted Shen Xiang's gesture of kindness and expressed her gratitude. Hindered by her injury, she staggered, but Shen Xiang steadied her, preventing her from falling. Concerned about the severity of the poison, Shin Xiang suggested that Ulan accompany him to Ling Yun Pavilion for examination. Recognizing Shan Xiang's genuine concern for her well-being, Ulan readily agreed to his proposal. With time still available before the final round, Shan Xiang escorted Ulan to Ling Yun Pavilion for treatment. Following an examination, Mango, the medic, removed the ice needle and remarked on the potency of the poison. Fortunately, he assured Ulan that he had administered a high-grade cleansing core pill, effectively neutralizing the poison and averting any potential damage to her meridians. Filled with relief that Ulan was now out of harm's way, Shan Xiang extended his generosity further by offering her a golden spirit fruit. Ulan marveled at the fruit, her gratitude towards Shan Xiang evident, though she couldn't help but wonder why he chose to help her. In response, Shan Xiang offered a warm smile, expressing his belief that a talented individual like Ulan, endowed with ice and fire dual veins, shouldn't remain confined. He encouraged her to seize the opportunity to join one of the 8 major sects, particularly the Tao sect. Shan Xiang believed that by using the golden spirit fruit to gain qualification for assessment, Ulan stood a good chance of success. Moved by Shan Xiang's faith in her potential, Ulan became emotional and impulsively clasped Shan Xiang's hands, requesting him to be her brother. Without hesitation, Shan Xiang agreed, despite Sua's teasing remark about his agreement. Subsequently, both Shan Xiang and Ulan lit an incense pot. Ulan expressed her desire to stay in Ling Yun Pavilion to assist Shan Xiang, especially considering the unresolved grievances between him and the Yao family. Gratefully accepting her offer, Shan Xiang welcomed Ulan's companionship, appreciative of her support. Shan Xiang assured Ulan that their family could handle any issues with the Yao family, emphasizing that her health was the top priority. He also vowed to address Song Nanming's cheating in the tournament and seek justice for Ulan. The following day, Shan Xiang returned to the tournament for the final match, facing Nanming in the ring. Nanming attempted to intimidate Shan Xiang with threats, but Shan Xiang stood firm. He condemned Nanming's use of ice needles as disgraceful and indecent. Nanming grew irritated and denied Shan Xiang's accusation. Determined to defeat Shan Xiang, he activated the Southern Martial royal family's secret technique, the Dragon Martial, believing it would ensure his victory. Upon witnessing the aura emanating from Nanming, Shan Xiang felt a familiar energy akin to his own Azure Dragon's true Kai. Su Meiyao explained that the Dragon Martial technique was an ancient art created by a real dragon, surpassing even the 4 symbols' divine exercise in authenticity and power. She encouraged Shan Xiang to learn the technique thoroughly, recognizing its significance and potential. Shan Xiang's wide smile stretched across his face as he confidently clenched his fists, signaling his readiness to withstand Nanming's punch. As Nanming unleashed his dragon fist, Shan Xiang calmly awaited the strike. When the blow came, Shan Xiang skillfully blocked it, leaving Nanming astonished by the strength of Shan Xiang's true qi, which even defied the suppression of Nanming's golden dragon trial. Teasingly, Shan Xiang remarked on Nanming's apparent weakness despite his mastery of an ancient technique. With the power of the Azure Dragon Kai coursing through him and a formidable aura enveloping him, Shan Xiang declared that he didn't require beast transformation to face Nanming, opting instead to hone his skills with a newly acquired dragon technique. Nanming, bewildered, had assumed that only those with dragon lineage could master the dragon technique. Proudly citing his royal bloodline as descendants of true dragons, Nanming prepared to attack Shan Xiang with his Millennium Ice Needle. However, Shan Xiang swiftly countered with his true Fire Kai, encircling himself in flames that melted the approaching ice needles. How is this possible? That technique was specially crafted at my father's request, and even a 9th-level master shouldn't be able to withstand it, Nanming questioned, perplexed by Shan Xiang's resilience. Leaping from behind, Shan Xiang confidently asserted that his true Kai fire could effortlessly liquefy even a 1,000-year-old black iron, let alone a simple ice needle. As Nanming turned to face him, Shan Xiang delivered a powerful punch, sending Nanming hurtling backwards and spewing blood. With this decisive blow, Shan Xiang was declared the victor of the tournament's final round. Spectators marveled at the strength of his punch, speculating that it might even surpass the power of the 9th level. Having emerged triumphant, Shan Xiang approached the hosts to claim the true Kai pill as his prize. However, his request was met with interference from Shan Furong, who accused him of the murders of Yao Tianhua and the Yao elder, seeking justice for the Yao family. "You traitor of the Shin family, your presence was expected, but where is the evidence to support your claims of my wrongdoing?" Shin Xiang retorted. Shin Fong then produced a piece of paper stained with blood, claiming it as proof. He asserted that they had employed an ancient secret technique to capture Yao Tianhua's soul remnant, releasing it from the paper. In the spectral form, Yao Tianhua accused Shan Xiang of murdering him and his uncle, the elder, and called for retribution from the patriarch of the Yao family, Yao Hong. The Yao patriarch seethed with anger, his ire ignited by the confirmation of Shan Xiang's culpability in the deaths of 2 Yao family members. "And what if I did?" Shin Xiang retorted, devoid of remorse. In a sudden move, Shan Xiang teleported behind Yao Hong and seized him by the throat, leveraging his true qi to lift the elder off the ground. Annoyed, Yao Hong demanded to know Shan Xiang's intentions. "I'll let you talk a bit more," Shin Xiang replied, his anger palpable. As Shan Xiang exerted his power, azure flames seemed to emanate from Yao Hong's eyes, indicating a possible hallucinatory effect. Shin Xiang then interrogated him about the Yao family's involvement in assassinating the disciples of the great family. Yao Hong confessed under the influence of Shan Xiang's coercion, unable to lie. He revealed the Yao family's motive, fear of the Shin family's growing influence, which posed a threat to their own. Exploiting the presence of the great family's disciples at a Yao family banquet, they orchestrated the assassinations. As the truth unfolded, shock rippled through the audience, while members of the Yao clan and Shen Fong's entourage grew increasingly perturbed by Shen Xiang's ability to extract nothing but the truth from Yao Hong. "Did you all hear that? This is what the Yao family is up to," Shen Xiang declared, exposing their deceit. The uproarious crowd condemned the Yao family as shameless and despicable. "Shin Xiang, you're a deceitful wretch. You not only took a life, but also besmirched the honor of our Yao family. I'll end you here and now," Shan Furong declared, inciting his followers to surround and attack Shan Xiang with lethal intent, brandishing swords. Unfazed, Shan Xiang remained resolute. "Today, I'll clean up the mess the Shin family has made. Kill him," Shin Furong commanded. As the assailants closed in on Shan Xiang, he ignited his true fire kai. But before the conflict escalated further, an unexpected intervention occurred. Shin Xiang's father, Shen Tianhua, descended into the ring, shielding his son from the attackers. Dispatching the initial wave of assailants with swiftness, Shen Tianhua stood by Shan Xiang's side, fists clenched, denouncing Shan Furong's authority to speak for the Shin family, branding him as nothing more than a traitor. Suddenly, a massive rock hurled into the fray, catching Shan Furong off guard. Joining the scene were several members of the Shin family, led by Han Hai. Shin Xiang felt relief as his uncle and allies arrived in the nick of time. "You usually hog all the glory, but I'll show you I'm no slouch," Cenen declared, ready to join the fight. The Yao family patriarch issued a command for his men to attack the Shin family, igniting a fierce battle within the ring. Despite trembling with fear, Shen Fong defiantly proclaimed his intent to reveal the true essence of martial arts to all. Amidst the chaos, Shin Xiang called out to Shen Fong from above, expressing his own desire to witness the martial arts world that the elders spoke of. Shen Xiang then led Shan Furong away, luring him into the forest. As Shan Furong pursued him with crackling lightning strikes, a frenzied exchange ensued between them amidst the dense foliage. Shen Fong unleashed his raging world claws in an attempt to strike Shen Xiang, who managed to activate his golden barrier just in time. Transforming into a beast, Shan Furong relentlessly clawed at Shan Xiang's barrier, vowing to tear him apart once it gave way. However, Shen Xiang grappled with the challenge, grappling with the realization that mastering beast transformation in the 9th realm differed significantly from his experiences in the 8th realm. Fearful of being at a disadvantage, he hesitated to fully unleash his beast transformation in the ensuing confrontation. After relentless scratching, Shan Furong finally shattered the golden barrier. "It's a shame that your talent is exceptional, But who allowed you to escape punishment? He sneered, hurtling towards Shin Xiang with lightning speed, calculating that the 5 true qi elements in his body could withstand 3 strikes. Shin Xiang resolved to settle the confrontation with 3 punches. As Furong closed in, Shin Xiang swiftly unleashed his White Tiger Divine Fist, delivering a powerful blow that reverberated through the ground. Caught off guard, Furong was bewildered, his attention fixated on the impact below, oblivious to Shin Xiang's presence behind him. In a flash, Shin Xiang spoke, causing Furong to whirl around in astonishment. Shin Xiang revealed his affiliation with the true martial set, rebuking Furong's inflated sense of superiority as a mere outer disciple who had yet to break through to the true martial realm, despite his delusions of mastery over the mortal martial realm. Did you ever consider this outcome when you bullied others? Shin Xiang questioned, confronting Furong with the consequences of his actions. Terrified, Furong recoiled from Shin Xiang's intimidating presence, but Shin Xiang harbored no pity as he swiftly dispatched the old man with a lethal White Tiger Divine Fist. Unaware of the looming danger behind him, Shin Xiang remained oblivious as he lamented his depleted true qi reserves. Unbeknownst to him, Yao Hong, the Yao Patriarch, held a dagger with trembling hands, intent on seizing the opportunity to exact revenge. With a shout, Yao Hong charged at Shin Xiang, his intentions betrayed by his loud approach. Startled by the noise, Shin Xiang turned just in time to confront his assailant. Suddenly, without Shin Xiang's summoning, his dragon manifested, shielding him from Yao Hong's attack. Confused by the unexpected turn of events, Shin Xiang sought an explanation from Suwa, who revealed that it was his dragon warrior's blood deterrent at work. Su Meiyao explained that it only affected those significantly weaker than Shin Xiang. Trembling in fear on the ground, Yao Hong pleaded for mercy from Shin Xiang. Moments after the Shin family arrives at the Yao family's mansion, Shenen's declaration of impending attack echoes through the air. Upon entry, they found themselves met with a formidable resistance as several defenders stood ready to confront them. Simultaneously, Shin Xiang made his way to the Yao family's mansion, urging them to flee while they still had the chance. Touching down on the ground, he announced to all present that he had already vanquished Shan Furong and the Yao family patriarch, bringing the weakened Yao Hong as proof. Seeing their leader in such a feeble state, Yao Hong implored his followers to surrender in exchange for their survival. Disheartened by Shin Feng's defeat, despite his prowess at the 9th level of the mortal martial realm, the Yao family members saw no further reason to resist. Reluctantly, they laid down their arms and accepted defeat. However, as they began to depart, Shin Xiang's sudden gesture caught them by surprise. With a single motion of his hand, he unleashed a devastating force that reduced the Yao family's mansion to rubble. Amidst the destruction, Shin Xiang proclaimed that from that day forth, the Yao family would be consigned to history, forbidden from setting foot in the king's city ever again. "Let's go. We're going to build our Shin family's new house here," Shen Hua declared, inspired by Shin Xiang's capabilities. The family members cheered for him, swelling with pride at his accomplishments. A month later, Shin Xiang had settled into his new room in their newly constructed mansion. Engrossed in his cultivation, he sensed a newfound strength and power coursing through him, indicating an imminent breakthrough. "Sister Meiyao, do you think now is a good time for me to enter the 9th level?" he inquired. However, upon checking on her, he found her engrossed in enjoying some sweets. Surrounded by delicate poria cakes and de-paced cakes, she mused on how long it had been since she last indulged in such treats. Assuring her that their family's power was becoming increasingly stable, Shin Xiang promised to bring in the finest pastry chefs from across the continent, including the South Martial Kingdom. "But don't blame me if you end up gaining a few pounds," he teased, reaching for a sweet treat. However, Suwa intervened, swatting his hand away with a stern gaze, indicating her disapproval of him indulging in sweets. Shin Xiang understood her unspoken wishes and respected her restraint. Suddenly, a voice called out Shin Xiang's name, alerting him to a troubling situation. Hastening to the door, he was informed by a messenger that Shan Hanhai had been injured. Without hesitation, Shin Xiang rushed to Hanhai's room to assess the situation. Upon arrival, He was briefed by Luzong that while delivering goods, Han Hai and his companions had been ambushed by a group of thieves. Though Han Hai's injuries were not severe, he would require some time to recuperate. Shintanu added that the attackers had nearly decimated the entire chariot and horse team of the Shin family. Despite his injuries, Han Hai managed to evade capture, his body now adorned with bruises and bandages. Furious upon hearing the news, Shun Xiang demanded to know the identity of the attackers. Cenen speculated that they might be Yao family elders from the martial arts sect, but Luzong disagreed, suggesting that the Yao family or the martial arts sect would not have been able to cover up such an incident. Whoever they are, they're asking for trouble, Shun Xiang declared, his anger simmering. With his recent victory over Shun Furong bolstering his confidence, he was prepared to face any adversaries head-on. Emerging from the room, Shun Xiang unfurled his fiery wings, determined to track down the attackers. His father granted him permission to pursue his course of action and revealed that the attack on Han Hai had occurred at 9 Points Mountain. Shun Xiang wasted no time, taking to the skies and swiftly arriving at the designated area. Upon entering the mountain range, a sense of foreboding washed over him, accompanied by a surge of true qi. Suddenly, he found himself under attack as claws lashed out towards him in a calculated assault. However, Shun Xiang remained undeterred, swiftly employing his true Kai fire to block and counter the attack, infusing it with his vermilion bird flame. Recognizing the attacker, Shun Xiang called out Song Nim for his treacherous actions. As the crown prince of the South Martial Kingdom, how could you consort with a demonic sect? Aren't you afraid of betraying your royal family's trust? He admonished. In response, Song Nanming materialized before him, wielding the elephant claws and bellowing that Shun Xiang's demise was inevitable. As Shun Xiang lunged forward with his vermilion bird flame, Nanming's fear overtook him and he fled. Yet, as he ran, the sky ominously reddened, heralding the imminent arrival of a mysterious figure. Shun Xiang watched in astonishment as the individual descended from above, an enigmatic presence shrouding him. Caught off guard by the stranger's sudden appearance, Shun Xiang instinctively recoiled, sensing a formidable aura emanating from him. The man, standing resolute with a flame in hand, swiftly ensnared Shun Xiang with a demon lock, despite Shun Xiang's efforts to resist with his true Kai. Struggling against the chains, Shun Xiang gritted his teeth in frustration as he found himself immobilized. Witnessing Shun Xiang's predicament, Nanming returned with triumphant laughter, reveling in his adversary's capture. He boasted of luring Shun Xiang into the trap, unaware of the powerful ally behind him. Despite Shun Xiang's relentless attempts to break free, the mysterious man cautioned him against futile efforts, asserting that his demon lock was insurmountable. Curious and undeterred, Shun Xiang addressed the man. "Were you the one who attacked me just now? Are you a cultivator of the 10th realm?" he inquired. With a confirming nod, the man introduced himself as J.W. Doozy. "Now you see, even in the 9th realm, you're no match for the might of the 10th, Nanming taunted, his laughter echoing through the air. He then commanded Ji to end Shun Xiang's life, but Ji, annoyed by Nanming's arrogance, swiftly silenced him with a beheading. Despite Nanming's lifeless body lying before him, Shun Xiang seethed with rage as he processed Jie Dozi's betrayal. Nanming's head rolled to the ground, still spewing incomprehensible words, a grim reminder of the treachery that had unfolded. Jie Dozi then explained that Shun Xiang had been naught but bait in their scheme. He dismissed Shun Xiang's protests, asserting his authority over the situation. Anger burning in his eyes, Shun Xiang demanded to know their true intentions. In response, Jie Dozi assured Shun Xiang that he had no intention of ending his life, recognizing his potential value. "You and Song Nanming are not allies. What is it that you truly seek?" Shun Xiang demanded, his voice tinged with frustration and defiance. Jie Dozi explained that Nanming had been used as bait and expressed reluctance in his demise, citing Nanming's incessant noise as the reason for his fate. Now, Jie Dozi intended to take Shun Xiang to the 100 Poison sect, confident that Shun Xiang's exceptional constitution would earn favor with the sect elder. Witnessing Jie Dozi activate a sinister true qi, Shan Xiang swiftly amalgamated the 5 elements of true qi in response. Don't resist futilely. The Myriad Demon Lock is a true martial realm artifact, and even I cannot guarantee to break free, Jie Dozi warned. Undeterred, Shan Xiang asserted his resilience, refusing to be ensnared by mere metal. To his surprise, the chains began to crack under his strength. With a roar of determination, Shan Xiang tore himself free from the Myriad Demon Lock, shouting Jie Dozi's name in defiance. Enraged by Shan Xiang's defiance, Ji unleashes his myriad hidden swords, acknowledging Shan Xiang's potential to reach the true martial realm with such talent. As the hidden swords flew towards him, Shan Xiang leapt agilely out of harm's way, evading the attack. Shan Xiang leapt towards Jie Dozi, activating his White Tiger killing fist, aiming a punch at Ji, who narrowly evaded the blow. Witnessing the devastation caused by Shan Xiang's punch, Ji marveled at the mysterious and potent technique unleashed. In response, Ji tapped into his demonic power, unleashing the 9 Poisons Underworld Knife Blast, enveloping the surroundings in a cloud of dark smoke. Shan Xiang quickly covered his nose and mouth to avoid inhaling the poisonous fumes, but the potency of the poison proved overwhelming, forcing him to his knees. Before I deliver you to the elders, I'll extract your techniques and elixirs, Jie Dozi declared ominously. Undeterred, Shan Xiang activated his beast transformation, taunting Jie Dozi to come and claim his prize. With swift ferocity, he struck Jie Dozi's abdomen with his clawed hand. Despite Jie Dozi's assumption that Shan Xiang was weakened, Shan Xiang's defiant smile unnerved him. As Jie Dozi attempted to strangle Shan Xiang, he suddenly felt a strange sensation of devouring magic engulfing his body. Shocked and rattled, he demanded to know what Shan Xiang had done. To his confusion, he realized that the devouring magic was his own true qi, cultivated over centuries, effortlessly manipulated by the young Shan Xiang. Despite already experiencing pain, he remained determined to kill Shan Xiang. Shan Xiang, in turn, activated his true fire kai, expressing regret for Jie Dozi's inability to defeat him. With a swift attack of his true Kai fire, Shan Xiang engulfed Jie Dozi's body in flames, quickly incinerating him. The intensity of Shan Xiang's flame proved overwhelming, leading to Jie Dozi's demise. Upon confirming Jie Dozi's death, Shan Xiang extinguished his flame, finding Jie Dozi's skull before him. Acknowledging the challenge posed by a 10th realm cultivator, he reflected on the difficulty of dealing with such adversaries. The exertion of his full power left Shan Xiang weakened, but Bai Yao emerged to support him, admonishing him for his recklessness. You're courting disaster again. I warned you about the risks of absorbing energy from someone much stronger. Bai Yao scolded, visibly annoyed. Attempting to downplay the situation, Su Mei chimed in, but sister, the outcome was favorable, wasn't it? You wouldn't want your little brother to perish like this, would you? However, Bai Yao remained unimpressed, urging Su Mei to assist her instead. Ignoring Bai Yao's directive, Su Mei turned her attention to Jie Dozi's remains, hoping to find something of value. After a thorough search, she discovered a heritage bead concealed within a secret compartment of a treasure key. Meanwhile, a pleasant scent wafted from the nearby forest, rousing Shan Xiang from his slumber. Upon opening his eyes, he found the 2 women indulging in a meal. Su Mei explained that they had kept watch over him while he slept, fearing any potential dangers. She also expressed concern that Shan Xiang's meridians might have been affected by the absorption of Jie Dozi's true Kai. As Shan Xiang rose, Bai Yao presented him with the treasures they had recovered from Ji and Nanming. Housed within a pouch were the Dragon Warrior's refining scroll and the martial spirit carried by Song Nanming. Bai Yao remarked on Shan Xiang's luck, as these artifacts would prove valuable in the future. Examining the treasures, Shan Xiang inquired about their significance. Bai Yao explained that one of them was an inheritance bead, often used to store techniques that could be accessed by injecting divine senses. Intrigued, Shan Xiang tested one immediately and confirmed it to be an artifact refining scroll. Although he didn't fully grasp its utility, he sensed its quality. Curious about other potential treasures, Su Meo asked if there was anything related to the land of secret treasures. Shin Xiang, however, was perplexed by the question, as such a place didn't seem to exist, prompting him to wonder why Su Meo had mentioned it. Su Meo smiled, gesturing to the key hanging from her neck, suggesting it could be the key to a secret treasure. However, she expressed sadness knowing that without knowledge of where the treasure was located, the key would likely remain useless. Shin Xiang, feeling uneasy, questioned why Su Meo had hung the key between her breasts, to which she replied nonchalantly, "It looks good there, and I usually keep it hidden when I'm in the ring, so there's no fear of others knowing I have it." Su Meo playfully urged Shan Xiang to touch the key, but he declined. Meanwhile, Bai Yao interjected, advising them to disregard talk of the land of secret treasures for now, as it had always been elusive. Turning his attention back to the pouch, Shan Xiang inquired if it had belonged to Jie Dozi. Confirming his suspicion, Su Meo nodded. Shin Xiang seized the pouch, sensing there was something special within it. Upon flipping the pouch inside out, Shan Xiang's intuition proved correct as he discovered a map drawn on its surface. Su Meo couldn't contain her excitement, praising Shan Xiang for his foresight. With the key and the map in hand, the trio wasted no time and set off to uncover the hidden treasure, following the directions laid out on the map. As they walked, Su Meo was delighted to come across dozens of golden spirits IR fruits, thousands of myriad striped fruits, and hundreds of purple spirit fruits, more than enough to sustain Shan Xiang for a considerable time. She also sensed a rich aura permeating the area, believing it would greatly benefit Shan Xiang's absorption of Jie Dozi's true Kai. Suddenly, Shin Xiang picked up his pace, intending to send a message to his father and cultivate in this area for a while before returning to the city. "By the way, sister, I have a favor to ask. There are some tasks I can't manage alone," Shin Xiang said. Excited, Su Meo thought Shin Xiang was about to embark on some adult endeavor with their assistance, but he swiftly clarified that he simply needed their help gathering herbs while he focused on cultivation. Suwa couldn't hide her annoyance at Shin Xiang's request for help with herb picking, finding it unacceptable that he only seemed to see them as helpers rather than equals. As the week passed and Shan Xiang remained engrossed in his cultivation, the ladies begrudgingly fulfilled his request, with Suwa venting her frustration at being treated like mere laborers. "Women are meant to be cherished, yet he sees us as nothing more than beauties to toil in the fields," she remarked, aggravated by the vast expanse of herbs still awaiting harvest. Overhearing Suwa's complaints, Shin Xiang promised to treat her to pastries in Yongfang as an apology for his oversight. Suwa's mood brightened instantly, her irritation giving way to a sudden craving for sweets. After a week had passed, Bai Yao inquired whether Shin Xiang had entered the ninth realm following his absorption of Jie Dozi's true Kai. Shin Xiang, activating all his divine Kai, affirmed Bai Yao's observation, proudly declaring his accomplishment. Having condensed all the beast forms of the four symbols divine exercise, he now possessed mastery over the four beast forms. Filled with excitement, he hurried back to his residence to share the news with everyone, particularly his father, reveling in his achievement. Cenen urged Shin Xiang to venture beyond the confines of the world of martial arts, deeming it too small for his potential. Shin Xiang readily agreed and bid farewell to his Shun family, taking to the skies with his vermilion wings as his family cheered him on. As he departed, he felt the weight of their gazes until he vanished from view. Excitement coursed through Shan Xiang as he headed towards the Thousand Desolation sect, eager to reunite with his beloved Wu Qing. Upon arriving in the martial arts sect area, he was greeted by a palpable aura, understanding why so many cultivators sought out this place. Suddenly, Shin Xiang was drawn to a commotion below. Investigating, he witnessed a man engaged in fierce combat with a massive monster. Using his fists and kicks, the cultivator managed to subdue the beast through sheer force. Offering assistance, Shan Xiang approached, but the man declined, stating he was almost finished and it wouldn't be worth it to share the loot for just one strike. Shin Xiang reassured him that he didn't seek any reward, only wishing to test the monster's strength. Unconvinced, the man proposed offering Shan Xiang a portion of the loot, specifically a cow's leg. Before they could finalize the agreement, the beast regained its senses, unleashing its fury. Shin Xiang and the man quickly struck a deal, joining forces to overcome the rampaging creature. With adrenaline coursing through him, Shan Xiang unleashed his white tiger-killing fist, charging at the beast with determination. His punch landed with tremendous force, piercing the beast's waist and prompting a roar of agony. The fat man, impressed, commended Shan Xiang's powerful strike before delivering his own decisive blow, sending the beast crashing to the ground once more. Together, they vanquished the formidable creature. As the dust settled, the fat man grasped the beast's leg, positioning himself at its head. "My name is Su Rong, what's yours?" he inquired. "You're quite the fighter."
I'm Shen Xiang.
"I'm 17, so I must be a few years younger than Brother Su," Shin Xiang replied with a grin. Su Rong tossed Shen Xiang a portion of the beast meat and queried if he intended to join the Tao sect. Shin Xiang affirmed his aspiration, prompting Su Rong to offer his guidance. Together, they set off for the Tao sect, accompanied by the defeated beast. During their journey, Su Rong advised Shan Xiang to undergo the TYX recruitment trial grounds test due to the presence of the beast, which would hinder his entry into the sect. With a farewell, Su Rong departed, and Shan Xiang expressed his gratitude for the assistance. As Shan Xiang watched Su Rong depart, he couldn't shake the feeling that the man belonged in the Tao sect, though he remained unsure of Su Rong's level of cultivation. Setting his sights on the Tao's entrance, Shan Xiang heeded Sua's reminder to restrain his other attributes and solely utilize the fire attribute for the test, keeping the Yin and Yang Gong gene concealed. Arriving at the trial ground alongside other participants, Shin Xiang awaited his turn, placing his hand on the beast statue as instructed. The organizer assessed Shan Xiang's fire attribute spiritual vein, valuing it at 75, thus deeming him successful. However, when asked about his whereabouts, Shan Xiang was unexpectedly ordered to leave, accused of wrongdoing in the secular world and unwelcome in the Tao sect. Perplexed, Shan Xiang sought clarification from the organizer, only to be met with further insistence to depart immediately. Amid this exchange, another man approached the organizer, addressing him as Uncle Yao Shang. It dawned on Shan Xiang that the organizer, who held the recruitment, was a member of the Yao family. With the vicious intentions your Yao family has shown, they deserve whatever consequences they face, Shin Xiang retorted angrily, his fist clenched in frustration.